Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm told we're live. I think my laptop is a few seconds behind. I hope you guys are well wherever you may be. We have not done a live, well, other than that Marty Jannetty Father's Day incident, we haven't done a live watch along, so to speak. SummerSlam is coming up. We wanted to try and get back in the groove of the things for the new, can you believe it, fall season coming up? September's only a month away, my birthday month, FYI. But we'll wait a few minutes to try and get the gang all together. I know we've sent out all the social media links. We want to give a huge, big-time shout-out to Ambassador in the other room that's helping make tonight happen. We're going to call him Captain Lou, not to be confused with Captain Lou Albano. I don't know if he's the man of 1,000 faces from the original wrestling album in 1985. Does anyone like you, Slick Rick B up in Maine, do you want to recite some of the lines to Captain Lou's song from the first wrestling album? I'm the man of 1,000 faces. Well, it's a summer Sunday night. There is no pay-per-view, so we're going to do a watch-along. Fans, we're going to wait a couple minutes. I want to encourage you, if you have WWE Network, whether you use Peacock, get on that platform now and get to SummerSlam 1988. I believe when you type in SummerSlam, it'll say 33 seasons. You're going to go to the first one, which is SummerSlam 88. We're going to start it together in just a couple minutes. I want to build up a little bit of a crowd. I didn't realize the camera was zoomed out so far. Slick Rick and Raleigh, happy to have you guys with us. Share the link across social media. You never know what to expect on these live chats. Sometimes they can be fun. Sometimes they can be unique in other ways. But I haven't seen SummerSlam 88 in a long time. I figure why not start at the beginning, right? I think, didn't we do the first WrestleMania back in the springtime or late wintertime? I think we did, because I watched it with Dave Willis, who is absent. As you notice, I am here all alone tonight. It's just me and you. It's very casual conversation, very private conversation, if you will. If my good friend June McCowan comes into the room, well, that's a different story for a different time. But again, we thank Adam for helping out. He has been a monster help. He's a new addition to the Boston Wrestling Sports team. I'd say now, even though I've known him for a little bit, I think he's only been on the scene, 2 or 3 weeks? He says, yeah. I didn't realize so much of my leg would be showing on this camera shot, but you know what? When you don't have a giant crew, those are the things that happen. Jackie the Joke Man and Howard are off with various women this weekend. So unfortunately, they're not with us. But that's a different story for a different time. We're going to have some fun tonight. Who else do we have in the room? Drew Tube. Sup, brother? Can't wait to hear Superstar on the mic. Oh, you're going to hear a lot of brothers with that one. Hey, Christ Savior 88, my good friend. Where have you been hiding, brother? I hope you're doing good. Grape Gang General Matt, what's up? Well, I'm happy you guys are with us. It is, time is way off. It's 7:05. Let's wait about 3 minutes. Then what we're going to do is, again, we implore you, head on over to whether it be WWE Network, Peacock, wherever you may be, however you access the show, go to SummerSlam 88. I believe if you use the Peacock version, you type in SummerSlam, and it says 33 seasons. The first season is the first one, SummerSlam 88. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're getting ready for our big Back to the 80s WrestleFest event, Saturday night, November the 13th, Memorial Hall, Melrose, Massachusetts. Do any of you crazies have your tickets yet? We got Jake the Snake Roberts, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Axe and Smash Demolition, Marty Jannetty. A 6th superstar is going to be announced the night of SummerSlam 2021 in a couple of weekends, which is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do back-to-back live streams with SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver. But tickets are on sale now. We got discount, all-inclusive VIP packages and event tickets at bostonwrestling.com. I am very happy with the response thus far. Would I like to see it sold out? Of course. But, you know what, such is life. We're happy with the way things are going. But, you know, again, if you're interested, if you're in the Northeast, click that blue bar at the top of the Premier Chat or in the description box below. It'll take you to the event page. We have 3 different tiers of VIP options that are all awesome if you want to meet these legends. And we also have just admission to come and see the wrestling show and the great ceremony that we're going to have for the 80s legends. So a lot of cool stuff happening. It's going to be the kickoff to our Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive that night. We're going to do a big raffle, a big jackpot, where one lucky fan is going to walk off with so much cool stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. And not only that, but Saturday night, November the 13th, we're looking at is our 20th anniversary. 2 decades of this insanity. Do you know where a lot of these grays have come from at my ripe young age of 40? You know where they've come from? Trying to make you guys happy with professional wrestling at its best, in ring and on video. How many folks do we have watching now? Again, keep sharing, folks. All set, Dan. Joseph Napolitano, what does that mean? Did you send me a secret code? All set. Oh, you're all ready. I see what you mean. Great Gang Generation, you're going to watch on VHS? Get the heck out of here. I love it. You know what? Your VHS may be different than the WWE Network version. Just to let you know. All right, so we'll give it about 1 minute. Almighty One, how are you, my friend? I'm glad you are here. Raleigh, even if you can't, I don't want you to buy a ticket to an event you can't go to. We are going to do mail order with a lot of the superstars. So as opposed to buying a ticket, if you wanted an autographed photo of, say, Jim Duggan or someone like that, we could get something personalized and mail it out to you. We'll have much more information once we get closer to the show. We want to try and accommodate everybody because, again, this is a very expensive proposition to put together. You're talking probably a minimum of 8 80s legends. We're going to have other superstars that are known nationally from WWE or wherever. It's going to be a hell of a night, but it's an expensive night. You should see the plane tickets adding up, the hotels adding up. From the first time this event was supposed to take place back in April of 2020, I mean, over $2,000 worth of advertising. We had to flush down the toilet when we weren't able to have the event. So it's been tough, but we know great things are happening, positive vibes. I was saying to Captain Lou, I don't know if it's all the energy drinks I have had today or just the general excitement of this event, but you guys, when you guys interact with us in that way and team with us, whether it be tickets or raffles or things like that, it's a great feeling to help make these things come to life together as a team as opposed to doing it as one person. Okay, so it's 7:09 right now. What I'm going to do is everybody get ready to start your engines. Captain Lou is going to switch the camera shot to some of the great merchandise that is available in the Boston Wrestling eBay store. The link can be found in the description box below. I am going to turn on SummerSlam 88, and Captain Lou can go back and forth on those two. Whoa, there goes my microphone. Doesn't that happen every time, guys? You're probably saying, yeah, Dan, it does. Shouldn't you be used to it by now? All right, so I am on SummerSlam 88. I don't know where the hell the play button is. Interesting. All right. Come on. Wait. Whoa. All right. I am going to attempt to hit play. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, play. So I want you guys to do the same thing. Get your cursor or however you do it on the little play button. We're going to go 3, 2, 1, play, and then we're going to start watching. And then Captain Lou will shoot back to me once I am in my pillowed seat. All right, folks, get ready for SummerSlam 88 in 3, 2, 1, play. All right. Is anything happening on your end? Oh, wait. The old school opening. I recognize that song. The World Wrestling Federation. They won't even say the words. Nope. Oh, no. Mean Gene threw in a WWF. I love it. Look at how even grainy the footage is. This happened to be the very first SummerSlam that was available in this city. I'm sorry, the first WWF pay-per-view that was available in this city. We got cable a little late. And there it is, the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. If you have never been to MSG, folks, you are doing yourself a disservice. Right now is the opening to a song that later became more famous for the Royal Rumble, I think. Do you recognize this song more as SummerSlam or Royal Rumble? I still go with Royal Rumble myself. I like the SummerSlam song they started to use for 90. The Mega Powers and the Mega Bucks, folks. Here is history. How many of you folks realize that this pay-per-view did not take place on a Sunday, yet on a Monday night, when WWF Primetime Wrestling was preempted for 2 weeks every summer? The excitement and the build-up for this one, that's when pay-per-views were something. The late, great Gorilla Monsoon, one hell of a great guy. Superstar Billy Graham, a very controversial guy. We had some issues with him here in the past. I tell you, I wasn't the world's biggest Billy fan, but he's one of the last guys left from that era. You think he was on the gas here? I don't think Adam even knows what that means, but you know what? He's learning. He's Captain Lou. Now, you know what, fans? It's been a long day. I'm not going to show you what this is. I believe it's a little Fabo Pop, because we certainly would not have an adult beverage on this program, would we, Captain Lou? Never. All right, let me go back to the laptop. If you guys knew what happened at the studio to try and get this set, Ian Undercover, so happy I found this channel. Well, Ian, come out from under the covers, brother. We're happy to have you as part of the family. Opening contest right here, some great tag team action. The fabulous Rougeau brothers, before they had that All-American Boys theme song. I'm worried I'm going to say this wrong, but our PGO 88, why did they do the Monday SummerSlams? For 2 weeks every summer, Primetime Wrestling was interrupted, and Primetime Wrestling was on Mondays, which later became Monday Night Raw. So to fill the void for the wrestling fans, they figured, you know what? Wrestling fans are used to watching wrestling on Monday night. It's the summertime. So they did the first, from SummerSlam 88 through 94, they were all on Mondays until they went to the traditional Sunday slot. It's very odd that this year that SummerSlam is going to be on Saturday, for those of you that still watch the current product. Are you kidding me? Joey! Did you see that in the other room, Captain Lou? Oh my God, see why I love you guys? That's what makes it worthwhile. Or Lou, in your case. Right here, brother. I know you're a man, the big guy upstairs. Thank you. We've had some rough months the past couple of months. June was okay. April and May were awful. July was really not that good. I don't know why. July, the great thing about July is the number of views were up, but as far as the revenue that went along with it, not there. I don't know if it's because a lot of it was clips where we're doing the tease for the New Jack series. Those full-length episodes are going to be coming soon, but Joey, that's nuts. That's almost, I hate to say too much, because there's never really too much, but do you know how much that helps to try and get Marty to the studio when he's here September 1st through the 3rd? What a guy. For all of you fans out there that enjoy our talk shows, please, you thank him. You thank him, because he's doing us a favor, which does you a favor, which is bringing you guys more great content. And YouTube likes it too, because they take a massive cut, which is why I tell you this. Captain Lou had suggested using Venmo at Boston Wrestling. I think they take a lot less. It's a new platform to me. I don't know. I'm going to make a little ad for it, but my God, who is going to follow up 888, baby? Are you from Michigan? I always forget, because there's a Brandon that has a similar username. Do you guys in the chat know Wes Watson? No, I don't know. Yeah, all right, so Lansing, Michigan's finest. Thank you. You know what? Salute with the Fabo pop. As we go back to the action at Madison Square Garden, Raymond Rougeau laying it in on Davey Boy Smith. I'm sure a lot of you diehard fans are very familiar with the incident that took place probably a couple of months after SummerSlam that led to the British Bulldogs leaving WWF over an incident with the Rougeau brothers, where Dynamite was kind of known as a bully. Jacques Rougeau, in a roll of quarters, took out Dynamite Kid's teeth, which humiliated the man. As you can tell, Dynamite Kid is not a very big man in an era where steroids were very common, and it was the land of the giants. For him to try and fit in, he really had to bulk up to go along with his tremendous in-ring, hard-hitting style that ultimately crippled the guy. He lost both of his legs before he passed away not too long ago. But this match took place before the Jacques and Dynamite Kid incident, if you want to call it that. If you guys don't have no idea what I'm talking about, let me know. Maybe one of our experts in here could fill you in, or I could fill you in. Joseph, you thought the opening match was the best match, huh? Yep, the red, white, and blue ropes. Remember that? Just another enjoyable thing as opposed to, well, I don't want to knock 2021 too much, but look at poor Matilda, right? You know, that poor dog went through so much. I wonder if she's drugged up. You know, she had steroids shot into her, and it wasn't an easy life for that dog. I don't know who that is sitting at ringside petting her, but it was almost like Gary Michael Capetta and Cecil the Lion. But we don't want to talk too much about Cecil. Gregor, how are you, buddy? Joe, welcome. Can you believe that, Joe? 33 years ago? My God, I was getting ready to go into, what would it have been? Third grade? Yeah, I was getting ready to go into the third grade for this pay-per-view. Lou and his great adventure swimming into the universe hadn't even begun. Is that correct, Captain Lou? His great swim, his Nemo-like swim. Look at that. I tell you that, though. Dynamite Kid, he may not have been the biggest guy, but you know what? What do they say? Dynamite comes in small packages. Davey Boy Smith, you know what's funny? When I was a kid, Davey Boy was looked at as a quote-unquote little guy because he came back gassed to the gills in 1990. But I didn't realize just how big and gassed up he was, even at this point. The Rougeau, as you can tell, are pretty natural looking. Captain Lou, if you want to come out and join us from time to time, you're more than welcome to see some of the action from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. Oh, he's going to show off the guns. Wait a Captain Lou. Well, this will work out well, Captain Lou. You can watch part of the show, and then when we need to do the switch, I'll just let you know, and you can go in the other room. Yeah, or you can just stand in front of the camera now. That's good, too.
I want to be in frame.
Well, Captain Lou is going to be stalking me from behind. This is a little awkward now.
Be in frame.
All right, well, I'm not used to having men sneak up from behind upon me like this, but we're having fun. Joey, I tell you, brother, Captain Lou is this man behind me. He is our latest assassin. He has decided that unlike Howard Miller and Jackie the Joke Man, he has come out of the darkness into the light, because we really don't need to switch the camera too much. So tonight we'll talk a little wrestling. We'll talk about SummerSlam 88 itself. I hope you guys are watching along. If you guys could share, that would be awesome. We plugged it in a lot of Facebook forums, but whether you use Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, what am I forgetting?
TikTok.
So you're going to get, no, I'm going to stop now. But Dynamite Kid was a notorious ribber. Yes, Dynamite Kid was not pleasant with Outback Jack. I think Jack went back to the Outback as a result of some of the drugging that went on. But that was 80s wrestling. Captain Lou over here has no idea what he's in for. He is available for personal photography, video work and web work at aml-creative.com, I believe. His work speaks for itself. He made a great new friend in JTG. He's going to be having a personal session with John Cena Sr. this week. I don't know if Marjo Ouellette and her French panties will be involved, but I don't know how risque you'll shoot.
I have no idea what any of that means.
You don't know what panties are?
I don't know who this French woman is.
Well, it's one of Johnny's many women.
Oh.
She's on the reality show Ms. and Mrs. on the USA Network.
Don't ask, don't tell. None of my business.
All right, well.
Yeah.
The fans want Johnny to tell. We. You know what? As much as we are paying almost no attention to the match, solid work here. Rougeau's, I always thought were an underrated tag team. What about you guys? What do you think? Thumbs up Rougeau's, thumbs down Rougeau's? I'm worried I'm going to say it wrong, but PGO88, you are correct. Dynamite's, all of his work in Japan was great, but what he did with Tiger Mask was outstanding. Joe Shipley, that's an interesting question. I am a fan of Jackie Mottling. I might have to go with that. Joseph, has John Cena Sr. followed his son's movies career? Of course he has. Of course he has. He just wants a role. I think if they make, what was that one he was in, Daddy's Home? What was that movie that John Cena was in not too long ago? Was it Daddy's Home?
Trainwreck?
No. It was a comedy movie. It had Mel Gibson and...
Mel Gibson in a comedy movie?
Mel Gibson, John Lithgow, one of the, what's the brothers from Boston's name?
Wahlbergs?
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg was in it.
I don't know.
No, not Daddy's Home. Yeah, Daddy's Home 2. Well, anyway, in Daddy's Home 2, John Lithgow and Mel Gibson played the two grandfathers. But John Cena's character was kind of a villain in it.
Ah.
They actually shot part of the movie at one of the Showcase cinemas somewhere in southern Massachusetts. But I figured if they make a third one, John Cena Sr. would be the perfect grandfather or father to John Cena's character to battle with Mel Gibson and John Lithgow. I think Mel Gibson and John Lithgow are natural upstairs. We're going to need to find out from your photography what is going on with John Cena Sr.'s moss. I mean,
what?
His moss.
What does that mean?
You know, what's up north.
Oh.
What kind of a football field are we playing on? You know what I mean? Whoa! Wait! Christ save you. What are you doing to me, brother? I'm going to need to say a prayer. I'm not going to have a heart attack. Let me explain it to you as slowly as possible. First of all, you have to have Peacock and then go into where it says WWE. Once you're in the section that says WWE, almost like you do any kind of a search, type in SummerSlam, then a little box will pop up. It'll say 33 seasons, even though they're individual events. You're going to want to go all the way down to quote-unquote season 1, which is SummerSlam 88, the first one, which is what we're watching right now, with an outstanding tag team contest between the British Bulldogs and the fabulous Rougeau brothers. And you guys kind of agree with me that the Rougeaus were a little underrated. Oh, my God. Minister Brandon, how are you, brother? I had a friend, the Jackal, I think he had every LJN ever made. He had those rings. Right now, one of those rings in the box would probably go for over $1,000 if you had one. The old LJN ones, and even the Hasbro ones. Joseph, you're right. It isn't easy to navigate Peacock. Drew, I like that. John Cena Sr. made a movie with Marjo called Who's Yo Daddy? And look who it is. But let me get another cheap plug-in, folks. After our live watch-along tonight, in its brand new time of 10 p.m. Sunday nights, it's Wrestling Insider's Stern But Fair, a podcast-style program with the first and former Boston Wrestling MWF Heavyweight Champion Tiger Mulligan, now on the MWF Board of Directors, helping bringing you creative things in studio and at live events. And he has joined us here in the premiere box. Nicholas, it is a pleasure to have you as always. Can you believe that Captain Lou, I mentioned earlier during the podcast, he was awkwardly close to me. And now look at where he is right now. You can't make this up. All right. Where did I leave off? Are we guys having fun? Drew, you have 4 of the LJN rings? What the hell do you have 4 of them for? Were you the precursor to what WCW did with World War III? You were 10 years ahead of your time, brother. Jacques Rougeau unsuccessful with that pin attempt. Now, Captain Lou, you really have seen next to no wrestling in your time.
None, absolutely none.
None. So this is all new to you.
Absolutely, completely new.
Well, I find this very interesting, even though this is the quote-unquote boom era of the 80s, the tail end of the rock and wrestling connection, one of the most popular periods WWE, or WWF as it was called at this point, ever had. I'm interested in your thoughts. Because we're going back to the 80s, Saturday night, November the 13th, 2 blocks down the road at Memorial Hall in Melrose.
I'm still not, it's fine.
It's fine. Well, maybe someone will impress you. I don't know.
You're right. I'm looking for it up there watching.
I had one, but as a kid, I totally destroyed the ring with 1,000 G.I. Joes. You know what? I used to use the G.I. Joes as wrestlers sometimes when I was a kid, too. You know, to lug, when you had a big collection of LJNs, that was a big collection to lug out. And if you left them in the ring, it ruined the LJN ropes. You know what I'm talking about. We got all these 80 kids in there. Look at this, Dynamite. Well, he might have had a pin attempt. What else do we got? 88 and 89 were the best WWF years. Argue with me. I dare you. Why do I keep calling you by your screen name? Part of the reason we've done so many retro WWF 1989 episodes is, I don't know if you've seen the recent one we did with Gerald Briscoe, but I think if you look at that year from beginning to end, maybe the best roster in the history of that company. Look at 89 from January to December, and you look at that roster of talent they had. It's unbelievable who came in and out of the company that year. So that's why with a lot of the talent, sometimes we start a little earlier if their career began earlier than 89. But to me, 89 is a big year to focus on because in 1990, as a lot of you guys know, after Ultimate Warrior got the belt, the quote-unquote golden era came to a halt, a crashing end. The Hulkster was doing a movie. Warrior was headlining against retreads he worked with the year before, or Haku, and they had no one ready for him. And on the B team, he had Dusty Rhodes and Randy Savage, which wasn't lighting the world on fire. On the C team, you had Beefcake and Mr. Perfect after WrestleMania 6. Beefcake's face got destroyed in that parasailing accident, so it turned into Tito and Mr. Perfect. And by the end of 1990, you didn't even have C team shows anymore. It was just A and B. So 1989 to me was the end. It was the last great year. 91 was a pretty good year. 91 through, I'd say, WrestleMania 8, when everybody started to leave due to the steroid and the sex scandals. That was a really good year and a quarter. But as far as the 80s boom, it ended at WrestleMania 6, in my humble opinion. But you guys have your opinions too. That's what it's all about. I don't know about Captain Lou. Is he the man of 1,000 faces?
One face.
You liked WrestleMania 7? I wasn't a big fan. You know, I'll be honest with you, Almighty. I was never the world's biggest Rick Rude fan. He knew how to get a good match out of Ultimate Warrior, but when I look back at the rest of his feuds when he was there, I don't know. He had a great look. His ring work was solid. I guess it was a good gimmick, always kissing the different women. And I thought his outfits with the airbrushing was really creative, but not one of my favorites. I don't have anything against him. I don't think did I ever meet Rick Rude? Yes, I did when he was in ECW. He has no idea who we're talking about. But Rick Rude will be coming up here on SummerSlam 88. Small package was not enough to put away Jacques Rougeau. I want to know, who was the man handling Matilda at ringside? Do you know who's handling Matilda, the dog, at ringside?
Nope.
Did you realize there was a dog at ringside? Nope. You didn't notice the dog?
No.
I will wait till we cut to the wide shot.
A dog?
Yeah.
Actual dog?
Yeah. The team with the white tights are called the British Bulldogs from England. Davy Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid. And they had a little English bulldog named Matilda that they used to inject with steroids.
There's no dog.
See that right there?
Okay, you're right. There's a dog. There's a dog.
I'm not making it up.
You're not making it up.
Do you know the dog is actually buried not too far from here?
Really?
The Bulldogs, I don't know if they were leaving or what the scenario was, but they got tired of taking the dog, and they left it with a man named the Ultimate Warrior's limo driver who lived in this area. So he had Matilda for a few years, hopefully not injecting her with steroids. But Billy, yeah, you heard about Bobby Eaton today. That's a real shame. We talk about it tonight at 10 o'clock on Wrestling Insider's Stern But Fair. You know, as an 80s kid, you know, Bobby Eaton, he may not have had the look of the British Bulldog, so to speak, but what a fantastic professional wrestler. Very underrated, maybe because he didn't have a big singles run and probably because he never went to WWE as an active competitor, but man, just so solid, so crisp. He made it look easy, and that's when you know you're talking about a good worker. So rest in peace, Bobby Eaton, as well as the assassin Jody Hamilton, who we also lost. I don't know if you're familiar with him or heard about his passing, but don't forget, fans, you know, the Super Chat button, the Joey is blown up, is open for business as we speak. The eBay store, the link can be found in the description box below. We have Superstars merchandise from every era, as Captain Lou enjoys the Rougeau selling their antics. Now, I wonder if Matilda ever wanted to run into the ring.
Oh,
that's Concussion City right there.
No wonder these guys are really.
In you know how many? Both of the British Bulldogs are already dead, as is the referee.
Really?
Yep. The referee died in a car crash after a TV taping in 1994.
Oh,
Davy Boy, the one to the right, died of a heart the size of a large pizza in 2002. And Davy Boy, the smaller of the two, with nothing on his, the one that has no design on his ass, lost both of his legs, and just the style he worked for a guy that was so small and did so many steroids, and there was just nothing left, the poor guy. He went home to England to live in poverty for his final years. But from what people say, a very nasty, mean-spirited individual. Now, this is how that team, the British Bulldogs, left the company later this year. The one with nothing on his ass slapped the one with no mustache at a TV taping.
Oh, man.
He was embarrassed. So to get revenge at the next TV taping, he loaded his hand up with a roll of quarters and punched the English guy in the face, knocked all his teeth out. The one with the mustache used to be was a boxer, and he was telling him where to punch him and how. And it turned into and by November, this was August, by November, that team, the British Bulldogs, was gone.
Wow.
And this gentleman right here, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, he was actually in the studio in July. Believe it or not. He was going to be with us at our original Back to the 80s WrestleFest, when we were going to have it in April of 2020, but he has a birthday party to attend to on November the 13th, so he'll be unable to join us.
Lame.
You think?
Yeah.
The man in the ring right now, choking him out, Outlaw Ron Bass. We've talked about him in some of our 1989 episodes. That was right around the time he left. This was Ron's pretty much his only angle and his big angle in WWF, but a pretty good one and a memorable one. Brutus Beefcake was to challenge for what's called the Intercontinental Championship on this event, but this attack from Ron Bass prevented it. And I don't know if WWE Network will now show the whole thing, but it was a violent attack. Back in the days of when wrestling was the way it should have been, in my opinion. Ron Bass had little spurs that he used to put on his boots. And let's see what happens here, folks. Outlaw Ron Bass, you may want to put the women and children to bed. I don't know if they're going to blur it out like they do Superstars of Wrestling, because they lost the copyright to that. Look at him go to town on the forehead of Brutus the Barber Beefcake. He won't be strutting and cutting tonight. Look at that. Censored. Well.
Did he actually cut him?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, how do you think they get blood in wrestling? You think it's Hollywood? Or you think they... No. The blood...
Actually,
I can't give away all the secrets, but I'm sure most of the fans know. Joey, you know what? A lot of people had that opinion about Beefcake when he was in studio. Maybe he was having a bad day. Maybe he just didn't want to be here. I don't know. For history's sake, I would like to have him back. He is local sometimes, where he has family in the area. I think he has a lot of stories to tell, but he wasn't the most engaging guest we've ever had. Is that maybe a good way to put it? It wasn't as bad as the Nasty Boys in Saco, as I was trying to tell Captain Lou earlier. But look at that. Yeah, you got it right, Ferdinand. Give him color. And look at that, Marty. Well, Marty is, he has yet to meet Marty Jannetty. Marty is in the gray pants on the far right, behind the red X. But see, that was the kind of wrestling I liked. Violent. It was men hurting each other. Simulated violence. Action adventure come to life. Here at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, that your good friend, the little Dutch boy Wes Simcoe, has been to. Dutch, actually, you know what? We're going to think. Maybe we should call. Should we call Tony Atlas tonight? Give me a hell yeah, as Sheiky Baby would say. Now, who is? Oh, Bad News Alan Coach. This is a tough man in the ring right now. He was in Olympic judo. He was in the Olympics in judo. And he's actually, if I remember correctly, going to be working, yes, Ken Patera, an Olympian weightlifter in the 70s. So two Olympians.
I should type in the chat like you, Venmo and stuff like that.
Well, you know what? Do you want to...
Yeah, I got you.
I think this is charged at 100%. If Captain Lou is going to type in some great information as we watch this terrific match between past their primes, Bad News Brown and Patera. Patera can't even get the coat off. Patera's hair was wild at this point. I don't know if he grew it out when he was in jail. Now, you want to hear a funny story? The Olympian, the white guy, he was back for about a year at this point, but he was in jail for 2 years because after an event, they tried to get food at a McDonald's, and the McDonald's claimed because it was closed, they wouldn't serve him. He, again, one of the world's strongest men, legitimately. He was an Olympic weightlifter. He picked up a boulder and threw it through the door. Then when the cops came to the hotel, him and this other wrestler, Mr. Saito, kicked the shit out of the cops and broke a female officer's back. Now, Ken has a different version of the story. Ken said someone got fired when he was there, and when they were leaving, they picked up the boulder and threw it through the door. And then when the police showed up blaming him, they just kicked the fuck out of the cops. So I guess only Ken can tell the whole story. I don't know. And Bad News Brown claimed that Vince McMahon told him he was going to become the first black WWF World Champion, which did not happen by any stretch of the imagination. Now I'm going to ask you guys, because it comes up in our interviews when we talk about 88, 89 WWF. Do you guys think that Bad News Brown, A, would have been a credible WWF World Champion? B, do you think he would have been a guy that could have or should have beat Macho Man or Hogan? What do you think? Super chat button's open. Help us bring Marty here. Marty Jannetty's back live in studio September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. There's some people that have tried to claim that he's left the show. I don't know why. Marty is going to be rocking with us for 3 days. Captain Lou doesn't know what he's in for.
No idea.
Have they shared any thoughts about anything I brought up?
They said, one Christ Savior asked, where can you buy a Tony drawing?
Hell. Anything else?
Let's see. The incident actually happened while Patera was still in AWA.
Correct.
Who else can pick up a boulder?
I would have been an awfully strong guy working at McDonald's.
I mean, in 1988, he didn't look like he fit despite the colorful characters. And then Greg John said, yeah, I think so, Dan. I don't know what that's referring to. And then bad news. Bad News Brown predates Stone Cold.
Yeah, I think Bad News Brown, and I've said it before, would have fit in better in the Attitude Era. That type of character he had would have been great. Patera at this point was just, I think, one of the worst. I thought that was a small package attempt. Or you might call that a crushed box. I don't know. But even though Patera was one of the strongest men in the world, he just didn't look like he fit in. And that time in jail out of the ring slowed him down an awful lot. He would have had to have been in what you guys could probably Google it, his mid-40s at this point. What do you think of Ken Patera?
Which one's he again?
Patera is the one in the blue.
Oh, the guy who threw the boulder in McDonald's?
Yeah. McDonald's guy.
Well, I clearly don't like him.
There's the small package. Bad News Brown realized that one sucked, so he kicked out at 1. What did you say?
I don't like him. I mean, just for the McDonald's.
He's an Olympic hero.
I'm a part-time shareholder of McDonald's.
Okay? Well, all right. Well, hopefully not the ones in Wisconsin. But
no. Well, nationally, I guess partially.
How many people at MSG do you think went for a popcorn during this match?
Bad News Brown as a character would have been over in a lifetime. Would have been over in a different time.
Yes, absolutely. And that's not to say that he wasn't over during this run. I thought that angle that they did on Brother Love, when Bad News insinuated that Miss Elizabeth was servicing Jack Tunney, I thought that was a really good angle, even as a kid. He worked Hogan. He had, but he never got the run that he claims he was promised. But a lot of people claim they were promised that big run as the top guy. But this match is just, what were they thinking?
Bobby the Brain said all Patera had to do was admit that he threw the rock and he would have paid a fine and be done with it, no jail.
Interesting.
Bad News would have been, you have so many people typing.
Well, I'm glad I got you, Captain Lou.
Bad News, okay. Bad News would have been great to beat Macho Man, but Vince wanted the title to stay on him.
You think Bad News should have been the guy to take the title off of Randy, huh? Interesting.
That's Ibsen and Roy right there.
All right, well.
And then the Red Rooster pinned Patera at a Boston Garden show.
I was there for that. I think it was November of '88.
Okay, Christ save you, you spelled my name wrong. It's L-E-W. But it says L-Dan. Bravo was most underrated worker of Hogan era.
Who? Bravo? Is that what it says? Bravo?
That's what he said. That's what he
said. B-R-A-V-O?
Yes.
I take back every good thing I've ever said about you.
No, he gave us $200 though.
Bravo was awful. Dino Bravo was terrible. When Dino, and I'm talking about 1986 to when he died. What good match did Dino Bravo have? He was awful. One of the worst matches I ever saw in my life live, July of '88 at the Garden, Patera against Bravo. I still don't think it's over. It was so slow. Well, Bad News Brown wins this one that pretty much sucked as well. You know what? If they were trying to get Bad News Brown hot to work, Randy Savage for the title in the fall, this match was not the way to execute that plan. He should have dominated and kicked the shit out of whoever he was working. Patera was, as you could see, there wasn't much to the selling.
He was kidding.
Oh, all right. Gee, my Lord. He's all right, good. Either that or he realized I almost had a stroke. Bad News Brown with the win with the ghetto blaster and stick a fork in Ken Patera. How many times did Billy Graham say brother in that match? We really, obviously for copyright reasons, we can't blast the audio, but that was WWEF's idea of getting Bad News ready for the championship feud with Savage. I would have put him in there with someone that could have bumped for him a little more. Maybe Coco. Coco would have bumped around for him. What do we got next, Lou?
Let's see.
Well, we got the Mega Powers. That's what we got. That's Mean Gene Okerlund, the Macho Man Randy Savage, Miss Elizabeth, and Hulk Hogan. Do you know anyone on this screen?
I know Hulk Hogan.
All right, a friend of the show.
Really?
Yes.
You've had him on?
He hasn't been here, but we've worked a few appearances with him. Yeah, in 2013 and 2014. Good guy. Good guy.
Good.
Even though he ran into that scandal, but we won't talk about that.
In Mexico?
And it didn't happen in Mexico, no.
All right, none of my business.
But what amazes me is that Miss Elizabeth was promised to come out in an itsy bitsy teeny weeny polka dot bikini. And as you can tell by what she has on, it resembles either a dress or, granny bathing suit. I don't know what you think.
Me?
What do you think of Miss Elizabeth in her itsy bitsy teeny weeny polka dot bikini?
She's beautiful. I have no complaints.
Where is the bikini?
What do you mean?
They promised she was going to come out in a bikini. And Randy Savage was very, very protective of her. The guy in the red was married to her in real life. At arenas, he used to lock her in closets.
Really?
So none of the other guys could get near her. And she unfortunately died a very early death. She wound up with another wrestler and she overdosed. I think right around the early 40s, not too much older than me. But back to the action. Here we have some dub song, because this certainly... Ravishing Rick Rude, who we were just talking about. And Bobby the Brain Heenan, who looks a little bit like Julie Nolan. I don't know if you've met her yet.
No.
No. Well, just when you do.
I like that red. Can they even hear me, the listeners?
Can you guys hear Captain Lou? Wow, look at the flash on the actual camera. Does that bring back some memories? You know what, if you want, why don't you go mic yourself up?
Could do that.
I'll take over. We'll see what Captain... Look at all the rats in New York ready to get... They want the kiss. All right. You think Miss Elizabeth was better looking in WCW? Really? Well, she was more mature looking. How about that? Now, Ravishing Rick Rude was in the middle of that hot feud with Jake the Snake Roberts over Cheryl Roberts. Why they booked this match for SummerSlam, I have no idea. I guess they didn't own the rights to the song that he used back then, because this certainly was not the Ravishing Rick Rude theme song. Captain Lou, I would suggest, I don't know where the hell you went. Oh,
There they are.
I would suggest either number 4 or number 6. And here comes the dog, baby. Past his prime, terrible in the ring, but he still had charisma galore. This would be the final pay-per-view appearance of the Junkyard Dog. The late Sylvester Ritter. It's a shame he let himself go. What a draw he was in Mid-South. Never the world's greatest wrestler to begin with, but at this point, he was going downhill fast. Look at that, though. Rick Rude. As Gorilla Monsoon said, he almost did a 360 to make JYD look somewhat passable doing his headbutts. And the MSG crowd loves JYD. Tony Atlas tells a great story about him and JYD in a crack house in one of the episodes in the archives. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is absolutely free. Over 2,000 free videos. Captain Lou is slowly, he's actually going to put the microphone on the set. You know, usually you do it off camera, but when you're the captain, I guess you can get away with it.
Do what you want.
All right. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. You're right. JYD and Michael Hayes was one of the hottest feuds, the hottest Mid-South feuds. You are correct about that. No, his first song was, oh, shit. What was his first theme song? Wasn't Grab Them Cakes. That was WWE produced that. Oh, man. Someone help me out. Yeah, DrewTube. I like that. Almighty One, you think that Tony revealed too much by talking about him and JYD in the crack house? We've had some interesting stories on this show, Captain Lou.
Can you hear me?
Now, you didn't even put the microphone up your shirt. You've got the bag of the microphone on your lap. I mean, what are we going to do with you, Captain? For Christ's sakes. Both of these men have passed away, unfortunately. And the manager has passed away, Bobby the Brain Heenan, who has worked with us here in Boston Wrestling. The manager at ringside that looks like Julie Nolan. Amateurs, you're right. Ferdinand, I'm trying, brother. You know what? He's a great help. He's a good human being. He's not like Glantz, who still has the stolen lighting equipment. We're not going to talk about that because at least there has been communication with Glantz. I figured this, though, guys. I thought during one of these shit matches, you guys would be all over me trying to give Tony a call. You don't want to hear from him either. All right, fine. The hell with him. I don't want to hear from him either. I just want my money back. DrewTube, could there have been a worse LJN figure than the Rick Rude one? I mean, what could that figure really do? Hey, Don the Barber, how are you, brother? Always good to see you, my friend. Fox Guy, you're right, F Atlas. Almighty One, you're right. We never had Bobby in the studio. We have a couple of phone interviews with him when we helped him promote his books, and he was with us at live events, but he was with us so long ago, it was before we started to do the in-studio interviews, believe it or not. Great guy. I remember the first time we spoke on the phone, it was kind of a mock-out moment for me because I loved him as a kid. He had a few adult Fabo pops of his own, and he was hysterical. What a funny guy. Christ Savior, who's worse, Glantz or Socko? You know what? Socko never stole any equipment, so I got to go with him. Glantz stole, I wouldn't know if I'd say thousands, but hundreds of dollars worth of equipment. Theft. The studio had to hunt Glantz down for him to respond. You know what? Almighty One, did you watch WWF from like 79 through 80, early 84? I don't think, as much as I dislike Tony right now, I don't think his run was mediocre at that point, but shoot a little text real quick. I wonder what old Tony is doing. He could be scoring a payday with us tonight, Captain Lou.
Yeah.
No, you really don't know who Tony is.
No idea.
Ferdinand says called. You know what? We got two. You know what? We've only had one of our great super fans do a super chat tonight. If you guys want a Tony call, help the cause, baby. Lawson, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Welcome to the party. AJJ, Tony got a pewter. He on the pewter. Well, you know, funny thing is, Tony's Facebook account is shut down. Here he is. Well, I mentioned that feud with Jake and Rick Rude. These two guys are in the middle of a heated vendetta, which would have made for a much more interesting pay-per-view match, but that's the route they decided to go.
Is this an authentic vendetta right here? Like they actually hated, they don't like each other, these two?
Yeah. Jake the Snake Roberts is going to be with us, Saturday night, November the 13th, at Memorial Hall in downtown Melrose, Massachusetts.
Be there. Buy tickets.
Where can you get them again?
You tell me. You tell me.
BostonWrestling.com.
Great website.
Lawson, I've been up since 4 a.m. My time, it's almost 7. Lawson, where are you from? I thought you were in the United States, Lawson. Tony tried to sell his Facebook account for rock. You know, the thing is, as much as I'd like to say things like that, I don't think Tony's doing any drugs. Oh, see, what he did was he on his tights right there,
yeah,
that was Jake the Snake's wife. So that's why he attacked him. He was not happy with those tights.
Was that like a genuine attack, or was that kind of for show?
It may have been part of the plan. But we'll never know for sure.
Huh.
Referee Tim White owns a bar in Rhode Island. Lots of edits in the SummerSlam 88. I didn't realize they did so much editing. All the commercials and stuff in between are gone. I guess it makes for a quicker show. There he is, the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, the Honky Tonk Man, and the mouth of the South Jimmy Hart with some bad chroma key, green screen, as you'd call it. Drew Tube, where are you from? You're going to be with us November 13th? Oh, Julian, no one would be surprised if Tony was back on the hard or soft white medicine. I don't think he can afford it, to be honest. He is not in good financial shape, which is why he needed this show, which is why I think it's so absurd. Everything has happened the way it's happened, but... Well, Drew, I don't recognize your name. Are you a new fan to the talk shows, at least? I'm glad you're coming. Lawson, I didn't ask how old you were. I asked where you lived. But, yeah, I agree with you, Troy. Almighty One, those Tim White suicide vignettes were in such poor taste just a couple of weeks after the death of Eddie Guerrero. Maybe at a different time there might have been some dark humor to them, but to do it that soon after Eddie was just sickening to me. And you know, you guys know I love so many people in WWE/WWF, but here we go, the Bolsheviks and the Doctor of Style Slick. Another big tag team encounter. This was actually a rematch from the house show they had the month before. Why they would have this match back-to-back months when I know it sucked at least once. Now, are you going to rise for the Russian national anthem?
Never.
Never, all right.
You are, though.
Are there any Bolsheviks fans out there? I need to hear this. Was there anyone that really said, geez, the Bolsheviks are up next? Let me run to my TV set. Look at that guy in the blue T-shirt waving the flag. Jesus Christ. Nikolai was actually an opera singer, if you didn't know that.
They're all booing.
The black guy. This is the guy with the flag again. Look. There was one guy with a small flag they could find. Uh-oh, here they come, the Warlord and the Barbarian, managed by the Baron von Raschke from the AWA during his very, very short run in WWE. The Warlord, the one in the middle, was with us here in the studio in December, Captain Lou.
Really?
Yeah.
How was he?
A gentleman. I would love to have him with us again in the future. We got some breaking news here, folks. I'm getting the text messages.
You should check your Venmo.
I don't know how. All right, let's see.
Give that.
No, remember we were talking about the size problem? Let me see. Mr. Fuji managed the Powers of Pain once they turned heel. They were new and they were baby faces at this point. But if you guys missed the episodes we taped with the Warlord, check them out even on the Patreon if you want to see them full screen without the ads. Patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Get early ad-free access to Wrestling Insiders, the weeknight talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD series, Patreon exclusives, plus the knowledge that you are helping keep professional wrestling legends working. Plus, you get perks like early ticket offers, like we had for the Back to the 80s WrestleFest. Warlord in his prime was stronger than Brock. You think so, Lawson? Joseph Napolitan, Jamie, brother, Wiz Party Marty. Marty will be with us September 1st and 2nd. He will be with us also on September 3rd, but I don't think we're going to be doing a live episode that night. But look for live cyber autograph signings and episodes September 1st and 2nd as Captain Lou gets his first Marty Jannetty experience. Will we ever see Captain Lou again after that? I don't know. The Warlord was massive. You're right about that. Oh, Julian, come on. Does anyone here think that any tag team was less popular than Men on a Mission? The Bolsheviks got a bigger pop. I don't think Men on a Mission was any good, but they got a great reaction coming out due to Oscar's rap. And even Mabel is a single to some degree. Geez, he put his head down a little early for that one. Little miscommunication between the Powers of Pain and the Bolsheviks here at SummerSlam. You would almost not even realize the Baron was at ringside for this, but that's why his run was so short. I think just 2 TV tapings.
Oh,
Warlord, a massive guy. He was the bodyguard for 50 Cent, if you're familiar with the singer.
I'm familiar with 50 Cent.
They almost got murdered one night when they were shot at.
Whew.
He's now a bouncer down in Florida. Great guy, great guy. Takes care of his grandson during the day, works all night. Referee's distracted. It's just pure mayhem in this tag team extravaganza. The Baron doesn't want to seem to do anything about Slick. This is just not a great introduction for the Powers of Pain.
Oof.
Volkov was a little what we call stiff.
How much money do these guys make from this?
For this one event?
Yeah.
It depends on your place on the card.
Of the Bolsheviks.
For these guys, I'd guess maybe $5,000.
It's pretty good.
For a big pay-per-view?
Okay.
At this point in time, really, the only big money event was WrestleMania. That changed a little bit in future years until they started to go with the monthly pay-per-view format. And then when it was on traditional pay-per-view before the streaming platform, then, the top guys, those are 6-figure nights. Even for this event, it's, big paydays for the top guys. For the undercard, but $5,000, that's a really good payday compared to what they'd make for the other shows during the week.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. You should have colored your show like this, like it gave it the 80s vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Now, what do you mean?
Like, how it has a look, right? Because you're watching this in the 80s. Like, maybe the live stream should kind of look like that, you know what I'm saying? Next time.
But I don't understand what you mean by decorated.
Not decorated, but like, you know how you can color videos? Like, give them different colors? Like, how you can color different photos, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like the same thing for video.
But color what?
Like, color the whole thing.
The whole screen?
Yeah.
So you want to make me blue?
No. I'm saying not color, but like at least give it like an 80s vibe.
Our stream?
Yeah.
How would we do that?
I'm sure you could probably play with like the temperature and stuff like that.
Well, Captain Lou, that's going to be something for you to do some research with.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Christ Savior agrees with you. Julian disagrees, though. He says we don't need an 80s vibe. Well,
And the font. Oh, see, I'm with Christ. Christ Savior's a donator too, so we should listen to him.
he's the MVP.
He's the MVP.
There's no one even in second place at this point. Come on, guys, step it up. The super chat button is open. We got 62 watching with us at the moment.
Let me check your Venmo.
What the world is watching. Oh, you know what? Yeah, you told me to do that. I think
maybe someone did donate. And then
Julian, Dave Willis should be with us for at least one of the shows SummerSlam weekend. Let me try and get this. It'll be good to see Dave Willis. Lawson, you're 100% correct. Hogan and Orndorff, their second 80s feud in 86 into 87 was, I mean, it just did business they'd kill for nowadays. So what do you go to, Venmo.com?
No, you have the other app?
No.
Oh, you should get the app.
I don't think I have enough room on the phone. I remember I got the new,
You haven't set up your new phone yet?
No, it's still in the box.
Yeah, go to...
I got an iPhone 12 and it's still in the box. So what do I do? Go to Venmo.com?
Yeah, go to Venmo.com, sure. Do you remember you log it and everything?
I hope. Almighty One. Orndorff left in January of 88, and Bundy left right around the same time. They were both gone. Neither one of them made it to WrestleMania 4, where they both probably, I imagine, would have had spots in the world title tournament. All right, let's test this out.
Or better yet, I could even log in on yours if you want. I have the app.
Can I trust you?
You can.
Can I trust him, ladies and gentlemen? Stick a fork in Boris Zukov. The powers of pain victorious. Here we go. Log in. Let's just see if I can do it. I think I remember the... Hey, Christ Savior again. Someone did donate, Lou. And you don't need to try and guess who. Wow. This man is you know what? Slick Rick B, I always look at him as one of the Mount Rushmore of our fans here. Stick a fork in Maria Davis. But, Joey, what you've done, my dear Lord, Captain Lou is the illegitimate son of Mr. Fuji. Do you know any Fujiwaras in your world?
Is the illegitimate son of Mr. Fuji. I don't know what that means, but...
Well, Mr. Fuji was a wrestler and a manager.
Oh, an Asian guy.
Yes.
Ah.
Now, how do you know he's not Native American?
Nah, I see what Jillian's saying there. Jillian, give a follow to my Instagram. You can make up for that comment.
He's hustling. Oh, they're sending me a code to the phone. Lawson with $5. Lawson, you know what? Every dollar starts with a penny, brother. I appreciate it. Should we give Tony a call? All right. Remember this number, 398-772.
398-772.
398-772. Ladies and gentlemen, a good dear, longtime close personal friend, Bruce Pritchard. I opened for he started to do a podcast a few years ago. It won sports awards.
Really?
Yeah. I did the opening for his show at the House of Blues in Boston, at Kowloon, and out in Phoenix. But why is it telling me to re-enter the information? Maybe I screwed it
Wrong
up.
password?
Or he might be the illegitimate son of Ricky Steamboat or Tatanka. Well, yeah, he could pass as Hawaiian or Indian, I guess. We really don't know the origins of Captain Lou. We're going to have to do one of those 23andMe tests, I guess.
You'll find out only if you follow me.
He'll release it on Twitter.
Yep.
Or Instagram,
Or any of them.
I must be doing it wrong. Mother. Can you tell from... Did you ever send me anything on it?
No, I can probably look it up, though.
Yeah. Yeah, tell him, Joey. Come on, brother. We're having fun. We're hanging out. We're trying to get Marty here for not one, not two, but 3 big days of tapings. We got our Back to the 80s WrestleFest November 13th. All 8 of those featured superstars are going to be here in studio live that weekend. We can't do it without you. It doesn't say.
No, nothing. There's nothing.
Let me try
You didn't get anything, I think. But
yes, Larson, we know. Join him.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't think you got
Well, no,
anything.
someone said
They did.
Someone did. They did. I don't want to blow them off. Oh, maybe I just do it by my phone number. I don't want to be like Tony or Marty and just shout it out on the air, which he actually did, and we got about 400 phone calls. Slick Rick B. Woo! Thanks for the watch along, Dan. Been a while since you've been live, brother. If you guys will help make it happen, we'll do it every week. We have no shame.
At this rate,
We have no lives. No, I shouldn't say that. Believe me, you should see Lou. He's got one in Woburn, but we won't talk about her.
Don't listen to him. His mind's always in the gutter.
Never. It never got out of it. Slick Rick B. Laws. Oh, just mother. Let me try your username. Hacksaw Jim Duggan will be with us at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Saturday night, November the 13th. Captain Lou.
Really?
Yes. You
I'm
think I'd
excited to
lie
see him. I
about
like his
something like
beard.
this?
He's still the beard?
Yes, he does.
All right, I respect that.
Come on. Wait, I think it worked. Nope. Well, we got work to do with the Venmo. Raven, thank you for joining us wherever you may be. Welcome to our humble abode. I am Dan Marati, along with our new partner in crime, our studio assassin, Captain Lou. The chicks dig the hair. Can't be mad at Captain Lou. I like him. Better than a certain half and half, formerly associated with the MWF, who will remain nameless. I don't think Captain Lou is a half and half. I don't know him well enough to say for sure, but that's the vibe I get. I've seen some of his women on Instagram. You are not a half and half, according to the fans.
Yeah, no, I always listen to the fans as long as they donate.
Dan, you should forgive Tony. If Tony was apologetic, I would have forgive Tony. The seat for Tony is always open if he does the work he was paid for. That's all I want. All I want. It's all I've ever wanted. I miss him. I wish he was still with us. But I will not be stolen from. Because that not just disrespects me, it disrespects each and every one of you that gets involved with these shows. When you guys get disappointed, I feel bad about it. When someone commits that they're going to do something and we tell you guys we're going to do it and you get excited about it and we let you down, I feel bad about it. I don't like a thief, no matter how long I've known them. If Tony's having personal problems, he could have talked to me about it. Not abandoned ship and stolen the money. Now, what do you think of his 2x4, Lou?
The wood?
Yeah.
I don't think much of it.
No. Do you think that's the stick that the professor uses to shove up his ass?
I haven't met the professor yet. Not gonna comment.
All right.
He could be watching.
Don the Barber. Well, the good news is, Don, if you haven't heard the news, someone from the studio finally reached Glotz about the stolen equipment because I think law enforcement was going to come into the picture. So Glotz will be coming to the studio to return it, which is going to lead to a very, very interesting conversation between him and I because of Glotz, Wrestle House 2 went down the toilet. The airline ticket went down the toilet. The first night of the house went down the toilet. Plus, we have the Cauliflower Alley Club next month in Las Vegas. Captain Lou may have to go to Sin City. We're trying to figure that out. Or my even better friend, I should say, Alex Knight fan.
We're big game. We're great at blackjack. We're gonna.
Oh, really? I asked you earlier if you gambled, and you said no.
No, I don't actually gamble.
All right, well,
Okay.
He's a good liar, if nothing else. No, we like Captain
I've
Lou.
never lied to this man.
Isn't that something, Drew Tube, how young Bruce was at this point? But Bruce, Brother Love, has been a big help with our toy drive. And
Really?
Duggan is going to be with us for this year, so kind of cool.
See, look how the light hits his face. It's kind of pink.
Yeah, they did something to his face to make it reddish.
Oh, it was makeup before? Or was
He
it,
was
is it
supposed to
lighting?
be like a preacher of some kind, trying to hustle people, is what the gimmick was, the character. Jim Duggan was just an all-American tough guy.
I like the white suit. I mean, yeah, it's nice. His face is a little weird.
Oh! Black Piston Larry, stop ripping off old wrestlers, Dan. Larry, I don't know you, but who is it that I've ripped off? Let's have a conversation. You guys know I love the internet tough guys. Rick, don't block him, though, Rick. Don't block him. I want to see what he has to say. What's this expert have to say? Jolie Anderson, I'll be your gal. Well, Raven, it is a pleasure to meet you. You sound like an honorable human being and an outstanding wrestling fan for joining us. We hope you'll be with us in the future. We'd like to do more of these watch-alongs. You know what? Maybe next Sunday we'll do one. I don't know what's on the Lou's schedule. Yeah, but I got to feed him. You know, he's like the friendly dog. I got to get him some water, some food. You know, I got to get the one in Woburn to come and pat his head or other things, and we'll go from there. No, I want to know. You want to see Royal Rumble 90, Joey? All right, maybe we'll do Royal Rumble 90. Oh, Don the Barber, you know who this Larry guy is? I'm not even going to waste my time giving them any credence, but these two fools in New York that wear their sunglasses at night, that for whatever reason are obsessed with what we do here on this show, with different guys like Tony Atlas, the Thief, and Marty Jannetty that I've mentioned. Yeah, so it's kind of pathetic and sad, but they do wear their sunglasses at night, like the Corey Hart song of the 80s that I'm sure you don't remember or are aware of. Wonder why nobody comes back. Larry, who is it that doesn't come back, brother? Come on. If you want to have a conversation, shoot. We're not blocking you. Type. Rick B., you won't be my friend if you block Larry. I want to see what this supposed expert has to say. Come on, Larry. I'm ready to go, baby. Now, the guy that got cut with the spurs, he was supposed to wrestle the Honky Tonk Man for the Intercontinental title tonight. So he had a mystery opponent, which we'll see momentarily. It's kind of interesting having Captain Lou here, trying to explain this to someone that's not only a non-fan, but someone that's never even watched it. Come on, Larry.
Gonna remain a non-fan too.
And this man coming out right now is the Ultimate Warrior. This is how I felt this morning when I couldn't get the stream to come through. This is exactly what I did. The French douchebag came in and forget it. Ultimate Warrior was a man of very limited talent, but had a great look. Perfect look for an action figure or a photo or a magazine cover. But a very limited skill set. Honky Tonk Man, the man in the red, was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time until now. As we have a new Intercontinental Champion here at Madison Square Garden. The Dingo Warrior, remember those days? Oh, Raven Clark, you got to go with 6. I thought 4 was terrible. 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 If you are new to our show, Raven, the past 2 episodes of Marty Jannetty's talk show we go in depth talking about WrestleMania 6. You might like those episodes. Well, you know what? They're saying right now, Lou, that we should start promoting a watch along for next Sunday now.
All right.
You're that easy.
Well, I don't know if I'll be there. I can't make any promises. I'm a dog in the end, right? Like, that's all I am.
You're a dog.
That's what you said.
Well, we didn't say what was going to be in the bowl.
Don't call me a fucking dog.
I didn't. Do you think I meant that?
All right.
Are you hot? Are you angry with me, Lou?
No, we're good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Well, folks, is he angry? You can see his face better than me. It was meant in jest.
All right.
Not
we're
angry.
good.
All right.
We're good.
You're all right, though.
I'm all right.
You'll still take pictures.
Yeah.
You won't upset John Cena Sr.
Yes. Yeah.
Or the piece.
No, yeah.
What
we're
about
fine.
the piece
The piece? What's the piece?
on his head?
Yeah, I'll get the piece. I'll get a zoom in shot of the piece.
I want you to zoom in so close we can see the raccoon's eyes.
We'll Photoshop it too.
We'll
play around.
Photoshop it
yeah,
too.
We will Photoshop
Now, you
it.
guys may be laughing at my hair. This was an accident. This was not meant to be. As I've told you, there was, quote unquote, some construction work being done here the past 2 weeks. And I noticed it was getting a little long on the side. So I had this, I can't think of the brand name, but it was a nice razor. It had about 30 attachments to it. I thought when you put the smaller one on, it just took off a little. Well, as I was half asleep, I just went, "Zuh," and then it went, "Wah," and I looked in the sink, and dear God, then I had to try and match it, as I had to be here by, I think, 8:45, and it was like 8:15, and I was going insane, as I am now joined by a man that is a man, not an animal.
Nope.
The only animal instincts he has is when he talks to someone from Woburn. Will you accept that description?
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
That's fair.
Now, what about
That's
next
fair.
Sunday night?
Yeah, sure.
All right, you know what, fans? We will be here, LIVE live, next Sunday night, August the 15th
15.
at 7 p.m. Be there or be square. We're doing it for you. You guys give us some love, we'll give you more love back. That's how he does it in Woburn. That's how I do it with wrestling fans. Bobby Heenan is irate. Or is that Julie Nolan? You're going to find out soon.
You're saying he looks like Julie? No.
Yeah. Do you know Julie?
No.
Oh,
no.
well, you see, you can't say at this point then.
Poor Julie then. Damn.
Next week, Dan goes full Mo. Now, are you referring to Mo with the Three Stooges? Geez, thanks for making me feel even worse than I already do. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. Black Piston Larry, don't mind what Marty says. He is just a functional drug addict Dan drags around, doing it for us, LOL, and other China in the making, Nate. Well, Larry, again, you don't know me. I don't know you. So I won't go as far as, well, you know what, I'm never going to say what I was going to say, but I don't know you, Larry. You don't know me. You know what? I cannot control what Marty Jannetty does as a 61-year-old human being. I can't do that. He's not my child. If he was my child, perhaps I'd look at it in a different way. But I do know that Marty Jannetty is a good human being. He loves to be here and do this show. He wants to be in the best state possible, physically, emotionally. And you know what? We have discussed what we need for him to do in order to be in this studio to record those episodes. And I believe that he will honor that, or we wouldn't have him back. And I want Marty to be around. And I've said it before and I've said it again. I don't just want Marty around in 2021. I want Marty around in 2031. He's a jewel of stories and resources. Am I trying to take advantage of Marty? What I'm trying to do is record and document professional wrestling history. Marty is, for better or worse sometimes, very forthcoming in his stories about the history he was around. I think that's important. WWE owns the libraries they want to own. They present history the way they want to present it. Since it's their property, they're entitled to do that. At the same time, that doesn't mean that there isn't room for productions like this to exist, to document history in a different way, for the guys that aren't going to get a 3 DVD disc set or a special on WWE Network. So, Larry, again, you don't know me. I'm trying to treat you with as much respect as possible, considering you've only slightly insulted me. I care about Marty Jannetty, the human being, very much. If you knew the lengths I went to try and help Marty after he was here in June, maybe you'd be singing a different tune, but you could also listen to two imbeciles that wear their sunglasses at night. And you know what? Maybe that's blurring their vision. Don't wear them at night, especially if you're driving. Well, let's see if Larry adds anything else. Oh, Larry did read. Okay, I appreciate the answer. You do you. Hope it works out. We all have different takes here, mate. Larry, before you go, if you're still here, let me ask you this. Have you ever watched our shows on a regular basis? As we have another terrible match with The Rock, the original Rock, The Rock Don Morocco from Sunset Beach, Hawaii, against Dino Bravo, who I buried earlier, who is the man at ringside. He was killed by the mafia in Canada.
Really?
Dino Bravo, yes.
It's terrible. All these guys die so early.
He was importing illegal cigarettes into the country, and he was making monster money doing it. 40 grand a week.
What?
Now, here's the stupidity. When you get too greedy. Oh, I parked the truck of cigarettes in some warehouse and someone robbed them. All the cigarettes are gone. Then a month later, it happens again. Then a week later, Dino has a bullet in his brain, or several bullets in his head, as he was watching a hockey game in his home.
Really?
40 grand a week cash.
So you're saying he was stealing them?
2 truckloads of them. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But when he was actually doing the work for the mob, he was making 40 grand a week.
But then why'd they kill him? Because he stole those other ones?
He stole 2 truckloads worth of the cigarettes. If they were paying him 40 grand a week, how much do you think they were making off of the cigarettes?
Oh, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Who's here? Lazy Bum. How are you, Lazy? We haven't seen you in a while. Well, the Texas tornado got a bullet of a different kind in a different place. That's a much more somber story. Frenchie Martin passed away. I tell you this, Don Morocco is someone I'd love to have in the studio, but he doesn't want to travel because he loves his native Hawaii. Lou and I would have to go to Hawaii to get Don Morocco. Are you guys going to super chat us to Hawaii? Because I know Lou would go.
I would definitely go.
You'd go to Sunset Beach, Hawaii?
Oh, 100%.
All
I've
right.
been.
Oh, you've been to Hawaii?
I've been to Hawaii.
I have never been to Hawaii.
Oh, it's beautiful.
What did you go for other than
Wedding.
Who got married?
My cousin. Yeah, it was beautiful. Best place in the world. Recommend it to anybody.
Now, wait a minute. I'm going to try and give Larry respect here. Yes, I have, and you are documenting wrestling history. That's great. But in my opinion, there's a difference between documenting history and Marty just talking smack. Again, Larry, I can only ask the questions. Sometimes we have, there's adult humor that goes into it. And I think a lot of fans like that because most of the fans that watch our programs are, fans of 80s and 90s wrestling or of a certain age that aren't as easily offended as some younger people if we had shows aimed more towards today's fans. But you know what? I'm glad maybe even if we disagree or not agree 100%, we can be respectful with each other. I don't know you. I hope your life is well. I hope you continue to have a good life. I just don't like the attack that I take advantage of older wrestlers. You have, my friend, and again, I'm saying this respectfully, you have no idea some of the things I have done for some of the great retired wrestlers in this industry. And I will continue to do so because it is a great passion of mine. Because when I broke into the business, we were taught that we were a brotherhood. Everybody wanted the best spot. Everybody wanted to make the most money. That's a given. But we always had each other's backs. And that's the way it should always be. That's why today's wrestling, it's just another thing that's just kind of lost upon me, is that brotherhood, that fraternity feeling isn't the way it used to be. And I miss it. I miss it. But I appreciate you being here, Larry. You are a welcome friend to the show as far as I'm concerned. If you wear your sunglasses at night, it's at your discretion. Oh, wait, you typed again. Sorry if I came off hot. Common fact, do we care about wrestlers that entertained us growing up? We have seen many in the same path. Thanks for the civil conversation. Larry, I think everybody should be able to have a civil conversation. You know what? No one is going to like 100% of what I do. No one is going to like 100% of what Marty does. I don't think 1% of the population liked what Dino Bravo did in that match with Don Morocco. It was so bad, but that's a different story for a different time. But we can have reasonable discourse. Wow, you talk about rough chroma key. Holy, what do you think of that, Lou?
That does not look good. That does not look good.
Now, that man on the right in the white actually went on to become, do you know who he is?
Nope.
He went on to become the governor of Minnesota.
Really?
Jesse the Body Ventura.
That's Jesse Ventura?
Yeah. Oh, so you know him by name?
Yeah. I know the name. I didn't know he governed Minnesota?
Yeah.
What?
1998.
Which party?
Indy.
Indy.
And I mean, it was so close. It was like 34, 33, 32% for the three candidates. It was really close. But you know what? In the end, he won. That's all that counted.
They did used to have a former SNL writer as a senator, too, so I guess it's not out of character for him.
What's that now?
Al Franken used to be a senator for them, too.
Well, Minnesota's a unique place.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
I tell you, dear Lord, have I ever told you about the story about when I got stuck in Minneapolis, back-to-back weekends?
No.
Let me go through this quickly. It was part of our Cauliflower Alley Club reunion. The airport in Minneapolis is huge.
Uh-huh.
And I missed my connecting flights twice, so they had to put me up in a hotel both times. Same hotel. The first time, the receptionist, half Vietnamese and half Italian. Oh. No, Captain Lowe.
Oh.
Cupid struck.
Really?
What little charm I have left in this body was used. And we struck up a very nice connection.
Really?
The second time, when I got stranded the next Friday, I said, this has to be a sign from the Lord above.
Yes.
That I am being sent to the same hotel. Then when I got to the hotel, they had this war pig at the desk.
Oh.
And my Vietnamese Italian beauty was nowhere to be found. But if you want to talk about where Axe and Smash Demolition, the two men in the ring wearing the masks, are going to be Saturday night, November the 13th, do you know where they're going to be?
Memorial Hall.
Downtown Melrose, Massachusetts, in the zip code of Champion 02176. In my opinion, the greatest tag team in WWF history.
You ever get that girl's number?
No.
Oof.
I was trying to be polite.
Tough.
But I mean, there was, I don't know what it was, but she, and when I started throwing a little Italian at her, molto bella. Well, maybe in my next life. There's always Linda to break my balls and use my credit card. So there you go. You know, it's funny, Axe and Smash, the two men in the paint, at one point, at the end of their run in WWE, they stopped talking for 17 years. And I was able to reunite them in 2007.
Really?
And they were two of my favorites when I was a kid. I loved Demolition.
Why'd they stop talking?
The man in the ring now, Axe, believed that the company was trying to phase them out, have them lose matches consistently. The guy outside the ring, they added a third partner to the team. He didn't see it quite like that. So Axe left, Smash stayed, and they wound up doing exactly what Axe thought.
Wow.
By the end of the next year, the guy outside the ring was a completely different character.
Wow.
Instead of being Demolition Smash, he was known as Repo Man, the man that repossessed cars.
Wow.
As opposed to being one half of the greatest tag team in WWF history. Fans, I don't know. What do you think? Where do you rank Demolition? There was that list of top 50 tag teams that came out on WWE.com recently. Men on a Mission didn't make it. Oscar was a little hot under the collar. Demolition was ranked 11th. 11th. Are you shitting me? Come on.
Oof.
And you know, for all the people that compare Demolition to Legion of Doom, okay, did they wear face paint? Yeah. But I mean, look at the style of matches that Demolition would work. Could you see Hawk and Animal getting in the ring and selling like this for the Hart Foundation or for anybody? No. Oh, wait a minute, what did I miss? What do you guys want to see for a watch along next week? Should we stick with SummerSlam? Drew Tube will take the Hart Foundation over Demolition. Larson wants to see WrestleMania 2. Shouldn't we save that for WrestleMania season to be politically correct? Christ has been the top tipper of the night. I think we should go with him. Let me throw this one out at you. And you know what? It is by no means it's more of a thought more than anything. What if we went with SummerSlam 89? The second SummerSlam as we get ready for SummerSlam 2021 the weekend after. I leave it at your discretion. I want what you want. Salute. We might need a little more soda before next week's. You know what I'm saying, Captain?
I know what you're saying.
The captain's happening, baby. This guy has been a godsend to this place. Now, Joey has said yes with about 4,000 exclamation points. What was the yes for? SummerSlam 89? Troy likes the idea of SummerSlam 89. Lazy Bum wants SummerSlam 98. The Highway to Hell at Madison Square Garden. I was there live for that one. That was a great event. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Look at what he was there. You can't stop this guy. He's a machine.
My goodness.
You know what? Next Sunday night, L-I-V-E live, MWF Studios. We're doing a SummerSlam 89 watch along, even if we really don't watch too much of what's happening on the screen. But we're having fun. We're having Fabo Pop. We got Captain Lou. We got help. Maybe we'll invite John C. down, the John C. Riley of Boston Wrestling. Maybe Alex Knight Fan will make an appearance to take some photos.
Gotta ask
The
him.
Joke Man, Howard Miller, and then we got the doubleheader the weekend after that. So we have officially designated August the 15th, the birthday of one of my best friends, one of the guys that helped start this organization, wrestling historian and commentator, the Jackal. He would be, my gosh, 56 this year if he was still alive. And he has passed away. And we miss him because he contributed an awful lot. As Tony Rumble used to say, if he would wear a suit and tie, he would have been on all of those A&E type specials. But we missed the Jackal. And on his birthday, we're going to do a live watch along. And he was at SummerSlam 89 because it was in New Jersey. So you know what? Joey, into the Jackal up there, salute. I'm running out of material to salute with, though.
Yeah.
Ferdinand, you are correct. Rest in peace, Bobby Eaton. Joey, Cena is going to be here Wednesday. I am going to invite him down for SummerSlam 89 next weekend. Larson, we have an extensive Harley Race studio shoot interview on the Patreon if you are interested. Harley joined myself and John Cena Sr. I think it would have been the summer of 1989. Harley had one of those ring people with him. And I only wish we had more of them. I don't know if you're on Patreon, Lawson, but there we go. What have I missed? Captain Lou needs to do some research because he's in a wrestling studio with wrestling memorabilia. Well, I wish the Warrior would have wrestled the Warlord in 88 or 89. What would they have done?
Who said I need to do some research?
The Almighty
Captain
One.
Lou needs to.
The Almighty One. He said, I kid you, Lou.
He didn't even spell my name right.
Well, that's how it's spelled. Don't
Almighty One.
confuse them.
Almighty One. That one's a $5 donation from him, at least.
I want to see Cena Senior fight Tony Atlas. Can you imagine that match? That would have been like that boxing movie with who was it? Robert De Niro and
The boxer?
The one that came maybe 10 or so years ago when two old guys.
Taxi Driver?
No, boxing. Taxi Driver.
What was Taxi Driver about again? I don't even know.
A cab.
Okay.
The Warrior versus Warlord would have been insane. I think you would have had a nice visual, but once the bell rang, what would they do? Yeah, I love Warlord. Warlord's a great guy, but I think he would be the first to tell you he was kind of limited in the ring. But I love Demolition. I love Demolition. I can't wait to see them. I was so sorry to hear that Bill Eadie, Axe, the one in the ring, had those heart issues this summer. Shortly, he was in the studio with us back in May.
The guy in the pink?
No, the guy that just stepped outside of the ring with the silver and black.
These guys are hard to keep track of. There's a
They
lot.
are.
There's
And
a lot of them.
the one in the ring now with the face paint, he was with us at Wrestle House in Tampa back in April.
He seems cool.
Great guys. Great guys. If they all could be as easy as Demolition, as JTG, I would want to do more of them. I don't need to babysit them. It's like dealing with adults that you can communicate and have some fun with.
Shout out to the JTG.
Now, this guy
Jay the
right
God.
here, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, fucked us over on money.
The pink guy in the pink?
Yeah. Another thief. Well, he's dead, so don't.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Well, you know what? Yeah, he deserves it. Hey, he chose to steal, whether he lives or dies.
All these guys
Had
stealing.
nothing to do with
from
me.
you. It's terrible.
There's an underbelly to this industry that's very sad. Great spot right there, though. As much as I don't like him, great spot.
So they actually get punched? Or is that kind of fake?
Well, next time we have JTG in the studio. You want him to throw a punch at you?
No.
No. All right. Well,
No.
Almighty One. All of these wrestlers are shady. Well, you know what, Almighty? It's not all of them. It's just the ones, especially that were around probably until right around the time of the Attitude Era. It was just such a different industry then. They had to live almost a Connie type lifestyle, and I get it. But at some point, you have to realize it doesn't cost 10 cents to be a genuine human being to someone. You know what I mean? For Jim Neidhart to steal, not just steal, but for a fundraiser for his friend Bushwhacker Butch, that's just a sin to me. I remember Road Dogg that night told me how bad Neidhart's drug problems were, but the reason that he no-showed the event was because he wanted to spend Christmas week with a ring female. Only that individual decided to go to wherever her family may have lived and spend Christmas with them. So Jim decided to take the money and stay home. Quality individual.
You said all these wrestlers are shady, the Almighty One?
He did.
Sounds like it.
Neidhart was cracked out. Hey, Danny, how are you, buddy? Uh-oh, I think Raven's shooting on you. Have you ever barely been hit by a 300-pound wrestler? Laughing my ass off.
How have ever been hit?
Well, I tried to reword it. I don't know.
Can he write?
Ooh, slick Rick. I mean, I was reading your message, Rick, and listening to Captain Lou over here.
How have ever been hit by
See, you don't even need a superstar to go live and entertain us. You the man, Dan. Let me tell you something. What's on the screen is what's entertaining you. I'm just the background music. I can entertain no one. I can try and enlighten maybe a little bit, but I don't know about entertain. I do my best. If Neidhart will stiff, then you're dead. I'm not sure. If you meant Neidhart will stiff us, he certainly didn't die as a result of that. He died about 15 years after he stole it. But hey, my girlfriend, June McCowan. June, look at what happened to my head. What happened to my head? It was an accident. But look at what happened. I don't know. We got mayhem in the locker room. Look at all these heels. The Bolsheviks, Honky Tonk Man is furious over losing the Intercontinental title, Lou.
Oh.
He is very angry.
Jesus.
You know what, Captain Lou? I got
What's up?
one thing I forgot.
Okay.
All right. School him on kayfabe, Dan. Well, you know, Captain Lou, he's gotta learn. That's all. He's new to our industry. He's big into production work. I'm going to put the link right here in case you folks are in need of any of his creative services. Is there a www in the beginning?
Yep. AML dash. There we go.
Check it out, baby.
Let's go.
Wow. Look at how big the Boss Man was. No pun intended. A relative Boss Man was only in WWF maybe a month or two at this point. I forgot how heavy he was. Holy moly, did he get himself into good shape when they turned him babyface in 1990? Mother of God. That's one of the Rosati sisters. And here he is facing a man I've had a chance to talk with a lot recently, a man that loves to talk, the Birdman Coco Beware, with Frankie. Now, you imagine having to take that bird around on the road 300 days a year?
I like that bird's beautiful.
You like Frankie?
Yeah, that bird's beautiful. Oh my goodness.
I don't know why Frankie never flew off.
He's a loyal bird. Look at him. He's gorgeous.
All right, well, you're getting a little too excited about Frankie.
Your mind's in the gutter, man.
All right.
You know, your mind's in the gutter.
Wait, the Almighty One said, "Welcome to hell, Captain Lou."
He can't even spell my name right, the Almighty One. Okay, I love him, but he can't even spell my name right. It's sad. Okay, sad.
No. Well, Joey, Glantz didn't exactly make a truce, but he did when the studio reached out to him. I think with the worry of either legal action of some kind or even the authorities getting involved. When Glantz returns from Florida, apparently he will bring the lights back to the studio.
So
I don't know what that means about Las Vegas after he ruined Wrestle House 2 in Tampa. That remains to be seen. Look at Boss Man selling for Coco.
What did I miss? Dan is playing Fast and Lose, LEWS.
Fast and Lose? I don't know.
What does that mean?
Not Fast and Furious, I guess. That's with John Cena.
Oh, yeah. He was
we'll have to talk to the senior about that.
Yeah.
Love the Rosa. Hey, Phil, how are you, buddy?
LEW.
No, it's not. It's LOU.
It's LEW. Don't listen
LOU.
to him. LEW.
Not an IOU.
He's a loser.
What's Lou's finisher? I don't think he's debuted yet. He hasn't had his first match.
Debuted, nah.
The only one that knows his finisher is the woman in Woobin. Now, see, I mentioned earlier, they're getting the Boss Man ready for Hogan in the late 88. That's what Bad News Brown needed to try and get him hot for Randy Savage on the house shows. not a match with the mid-40s Ken Patera, who wasn't moving all that well. Is there anyone that you've seen so far on this event, Captain Lou, that you've enjoyed?
Nope.
No one.
No.
Is there anyone on this show that you would consider particularly bad?
I don't think they're bad. I just don't find this entertaining.
Now, what don't you like about it?
It's barbaric.
You think it's barbaric?
Oh, yeah. My goodness.
Lou's finisher is the Mountain Lou. Almighty One, Coco is a hell of a nice guy and a very religious guy. Danny, I don't know if Coco was ever involved with Annie the Ass Eater. Do you know of Annie?
No.
No, she is one of the famous, what they call groupies or ring rats.
Ah.
Annie had a special skill.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to guess you can probably guess what it is. And they're asking if Annie ever serviced Coco. Maybe the bird. Maybe the bird. I don't know.
The bird.
I guess he had a little ass. I don't know. Annie would have had an easy time with Frankie. I have never heard of Coco being eaten by Annie. I don't know. I don't know of Boss Man either, if you're going to ask. Boss Man's awfully sweaty in the armpits in that shirt. Oof. But Annie, it was almost like back in the quote-unquote good old days, could he move for a big guy or could Boss Man move for a big guy? A shame that he is gone, a good man. But every month, WWF would be at the Boston Garden until 93. And Annie used to work at the Hilton, and she'd give the guys deals on rooms.
Really?
But with some of them, it was almost like trick-or-treating for her. She'd go from room to room, and instead of getting a Snickers bar or a Milky Way, she'd get an ass.
That's just so wrong. It's so wrong in so
But
many
it's
ways.
the truth.
Yeah. Okay.
And her sister claims that she had Marty Jannetty's child.
Really?
So, yes. So if you'd like to bring that up when Marty's here.
No,
right.
I'm not. That's a wound. I'm not gonna open
It
up.
literally is a wound because at one of our live events, Annie and the sister attended. I don't know why, but the sister that looks kind of like Big Bird pulled her shirt up, and Annie screamed. She had a C-section scar. That's 'cause of Marty, baby. So there may be a little Jannetty roaming around Massachusetts. Marty denies it. Marty denies it. I don't know. If we ever see anything that looks similar to Marty and Big Bird, there could be some validity. Coco, juking and jiving here with the big boss man, as Captain Lou finds no entertainment in any of this. He thinks it's rotten garbage as Coco goes off the top on the boss man.
That was good.
Do you think you could do that, Lou?
No.
No.
It takes great skill to do this. It just
a big splash from a little guy. I don't think that's going to be enough to finish off the big boss man, ladies and gentlemen. Here at SummerSlam 88. Just what a show of just kind of blah matches. Am I right or wrong, guys? But I wanted to do SummerSlam 88 because it was the first one. And Captain Lou and I are testing a few things out. Captain Lou is a man with big plans as he learns about the king of sports.
We should set up a Twitch next time, too.
Stick a fork in Coco beware. He may not have gotten up for that sidewalk slam as the buttons on the boss man shirt literally exploded off of him. But a big win for the big boss man. He went on to be one of Hulk Hogan's, I believe, one of his 3 greatest house show drawing opponents of all time when they feuded in 88 and 89. March 18th, 1989, Hogan and Boss Man sold out MSG in the afternoon. Then that night they sold out the Boston Garden. Doublehead. Sometimes they would do a doubleheader, Lou.
My goodness.
Annie did many doubleheaders, but that's a different story for a different time. Lazy Bum. Who was that Lou kid anyway? Well, you know what, Lazy Bum? I'm a little offended that you spelled it wrong. It's L-O-U.
No. It's L-E-W. Who's Chastian V. Patera? You know, I should have this YouTube live.
Oh,
so
I
can
know who
read
this
the-
is.
Read these comments.
MDM is a man that I remember we spoke about Jim Duggan's stick.
No.
You remember Jim Duggan. Remember Hacksaw Jim Duggan and his stick?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, MDM has decided to join us. We referenced you during that as we're getting ready to go back to the 80s Saturday night, November the 13th from Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. All-inclusive VIP packages and tickets are on sale now at bostonwrestling.com. Get them at a discount price between now and SummerSlam Saturday, August 21st. And this is the Ultimate Warrior, the new Intercontinental Champion. I don't know if MDM is watching SummerSlam on the Peacock Network. Am I pronouncing your name when I call you Roy or Roi? R-O-I. How would you say that?
What?
R-O-I. For his
Roy?
first name.
Roy?
You'd say it Roy?
Yeah.
If it's Roy, type it in how it's pronounced. I don't want to say it wrong because you're one of our great fans. Did Lou run cross country?
Look, no, I did not.
No.
Look, Rick B, nice to see someone who knows social media. Rick B, thank you. That's what I'm here. I should be reading these comments, you know?
You want it back?
Yeah, give it back to me.
I'll talk
I'm
to
interacting
wrestling.
with the fans.
Look at the Ultimate Warrior. I don't know if Annie ever ran down the Hilton as fast as the Warrior ran to the ring for some of her sessions, but and look at that, another edit. I can't believe how many edits there are on these shows. I'd like to see the whole thing. But I guess it's going to make it quicker. I mean, this show is going to be almost over. The Mighty Hercules, another superstar that has passed on. If you guys haven't seen the episode where the Warlord talks about an international flight with Hercules, look it up when it's done. It's hilarious. And the Mighty Hercules gets ready to take on, yeah, there he is again, a man we're going to be seeing live Saturday night, November the 13th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Jake the Snake Roberts. I'd love to dump Damien in the office of the woman that runs the hall, but that's a different story for a different time. Jake has a giant python in that bag that he just carried out. No.
Oh.
On the screen, not on the floor.
What's up with them and these animals? Okay.
Well, there were a lot of animals back then.
I think your fans are great, by the way. I think they're
we
a lot
got a
of
great
fun.
fan base.
You do have a good fan base.
We need more of them. That's all.
All right.
We're going to keep the family growing, but
Yeah,
we
you're
never
right.
forget the originals. It all started with Slick Rick B up in Maine. He suggested some things to me that I never thought of, and we've just been growing and rolling and all over the place from there, baby. Jake the Snake going to town on the Mighty Hercules here at MSG.
Oh.
Jake Roberts is excited to finally see Memorial Hall. He said he's seen it all and done it all in professional wrestling, except do it in Melrose. So there you go. Jake, you can see on AEW every Wednesday night on TNT. And he's coming to Boston Wrestling. It's a long time coming. We had Jake booked 3 different times since 2005. But he is a clean, sober Jake the Snake. His documentary is very interesting if you want to learn about Jake's recovery from addiction. As Lou is amused at something.
Christ Savior asked what kind of conditioner I used.
Me or you?
He asked me.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
He says, what kind of conditioner do you use, Lou? That's all he said.
You think it's any of JTG's goods?
I use JTG's stuff. All JTG stuff.
Now, longtime fans, do you find it odd that WWE used this hard camera shot? Obviously, it's not the one they would use for the typical MSG broadcasts. It's kind of a unique angle, and I forgot all about that.
I'm done with your fans.
You're mad at them? What,
I'm
what did
done
they
with
get?
them.
Did they get on your case?
I'm done with them. They're on my case. I'm done with them.
Does that mean something bad?
No,
Oh,
we're
well.
chill. We're chill.
Oh, all right. Well, I see. I don't know the lingo. I want whatever roids Lou is using. Are you on the gas, Lou?
Yeah, I do roids.
Oh. Oh, Raven Clark is getting a little annoyed with you. Lou is more concerned with the comments than the match. Raven, Lou isn't a fan. He's a newcomer to our broadcast team. And I kind of invited him out to watch where there would be limited switching on this show. Thank God we haven't had too many technical problems, but I'm always worried I'm going to have to get up. And where we don't have a co-host, all we had set up were shots of different merchandise that you guys can find in the Boston Wrestling eBay store. Link can be found in the description box below. Every purchase helps keep Wrestling Legends working. Plus, you get an on-air shout-out from one of our superstar hosts. Captain Liu Kang. Now, what is that?
No idea.
Will Jake the Snake get in the ring with Beardsley be bad on November 13th? They have to be around the same age. I could see Beardsley be bad taking the DDT, though. I don't know if the grandson would want to see it, though. He'd be worried he'd lost another one. Oh, MDM gets the joke, I'm sure. MDM, look at the wonderful job. Look at how it all turned out in the end. I don't think you even know how I was able to fix this. And you'll be amazed once I do. I told Captain Lou, but at one point, folks, we almost didn't even have this live stream. We finally got the internet working. Our overworked friend, the stunt double of Howard Stern in the movie Private Parts, only known as Howard Miller, I guess put maybe a cord in the wrong spot. But once we had the internet rolling, everything was ready to rock until I went to set up the link for the live stream, and the video stream didn't connect through the computer system. But the magic of television, or maybe the magic of Dan Maratti's fingers, brought it to life, and here we are enjoying the Mighty Hercules and Jake the Snake Roberts with Tim White, a.k.a. Mark Dustin, as the referee. MDM, I don't know if you're watching this right now, but did you know that is Mark Dustin in 1988? Back to, where is the Joke Man? Fox guy, I believe the Joke Man will be returning to one of the two events we're going to be having, SummerSlam / NXT weekend, 2 weeks from now. His humor, of course, will be included. No, MDM is very happy about Beardsley be bad taking. Now, do you know Beardsley be bad? Well, if you don't want to wake up sad, don't mess with Beardsley be bad.
What the hell's that?
He's so pretty, he looks like Little Ricky.
Who's Little Ricky?
He don't want to fight, but he'll take the spotlight. Don't mess with him, or you'll get a left on your chin. Because if you don't want to end up sad, don't mess with Beardsley be bad.
Okay. All right.
Dan, what do you think of all the NXT cuts? Oh, my God. I could go on for a while about that. It's going to be a really interesting time if the quote-unquote rumor mill is true. If you watch Wrestling Insider's Stern but Fair tonight at 10 p.m., myself and the first and former MWF heavyweight champion Tiger Mulligan and I really dissect it and break it down. I mean, you know what? And I'm not saying I agree with each individual person that was cut, but when you have hundreds of people under contract, if you don't need them, you don't find the value in them, you don't think you're going to need them, you don't think there's going to be value in them, why keep paying them and keeping them under contract? You know, there's only so much space at the Performance Center for people to train. You know what I mean? What do you think about all the cuts? I hate to see anybody cut. My biggest concern right now, as far as the state of the union goes, so to speak, at the level we're at independent-wise, is that AEW is using and signing up just about everybody to put on their internet shows. And if they want to bring them in on those Wednesdays and Fridays, okay, cool. But if they want to sign them to exclusive deals, you're taking a lot of great talent away from the independent promotions. You don't want to hurt the independents because the independents are growing your proverbial next stars in 3, 4, 5 years from now, which I think is a point that I either made earlier tonight here or on the Wrestling Insider's Stern but Fair program at 10 p.m. So as far as the cuts go now, they suck. You don't want to see people lose their jobs, but at the end of the day, if they don't think they're going to have value in the talent or going to need them, why keep them around? You know? And, you know, there are also, and I'm not certainly not trying to insinuate it was all 13 people that were released yesterday, but sometimes you have unhappy campers. Sometimes you have people that want to do more or want to do different things. And WWE doesn't have that same vision or have the platform to give it to them on. So sometimes the release is for the best. Bobby Fish, he worked with us before here in Boston wrestling MWF. I was very disappointed for him. I'd love to have him with us again if he goes the route of independent events. Mercedes Martinez has competed here in Boston wrestling. Lovely lady. You know, with John Cena Sr. starting his own women's promotion, the Fabulous Women of Wrestling, perhaps she would fit in there. Bronson Reed, he looked like a guy that belongs on national television, in my opinion. But other than that, you know, of the cuts that were made just yesterday, I'm not talking about any of the other days of the beheadings, those are really the only three that stood out to me as kind of, wow. So, one man's opinion. I don't know what Captain Lou thought of the cuts.
I don't have any thoughts.
Yeah, you're right, Raven. It is sad. Let me try and catch up with you guys. See, MDM understands. If Lou doesn't want to end up sad, don't mess with Beardsley Be Bad. Lou, are those elbows double jointed, dude?
Yes.
Are they really?
Yeah. Sure. How did they notice that? Like, what, they zoom in on me or something? Yeah, double jointed.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that, Phil. And well, he's oddly sitting kind of behind me. So I don't know. Hopefully there's no anti-action going on. I have never had that treatment. Let's catch up on what the fans have to say. Which wrestler was Marty referring to back in the day, handed him the lampshade base to insert the woman they were running train on? He mentioned it less than 6 months ago. I think that might have been Raven. Phil said he can tell because he's a trainer. Road Warrior Max, thanks, Dan, for the Paul Bearer Toy Drive autographs. Max, wait until you see what we got planned for 2021. Every year I say I never want to do the toy drive again. It takes up so much time. It's so frustrating. It's so exhausting. And then we do it again the next year. As Jake the Snake Roberts comes away with a big win, as he gets ready to head back on the road to continue his feud with ravishing Rick Rude in his tights with his wife's face on it. I'm looking forward to seeing Jake Roberts on November the 13th. I hope you guys are able to join us. Oh, here it comes.
Oh, my God.
Now, imagine having to carry that with you on the road
That's
year-round.
scary.
I wouldn't want it on me.
No.
Now, if you watch the episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty on Thursday night, you may find this interesting. Jake had a pretty bad cocaine problem. And when it came to sexual interactions, marshmallow-like softness.
Oh.
So he would call Marty almost to be like the finisher, the closer, if you want to use baseball terminology.
What?
And Marty came to the room where Jake was with one of Vince McMahon's lieutenants, so to speak, and she had Damien inside of her. I guess his tail or the back end of him, I don't know if a snake has a tail, but the back end of the snake was in her.
Oh, my God.
Going nuts back and forth.
Oh, my.
So it's an interesting industry. Now, do you know who that man is?
That's Andre the Giant.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. See, I'm a wrestling expert now.
Well, You know, Bill House of the MWF Board of Directors, he does an awful lot of traveling nowadays at one of the finest hotels in the Northeast. I don't know if House will be in the house November 13th. We'd like to think so. That's the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, a man that has been in the studio, putting the boots to the Macho Man. And look at Andre. That's a scary looking
Holy
man.
shit. Didn't Andre the Giant pass away too?
1993,
Oof.
long before there was Lou.
Long before I existed.
Ryan, Marty will be back with us live in studio September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. But you don't have to wait. You can catch a brand new episode of Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty every Thursday night at 10 p.m. or join the Patreon and get early ad-free access. No ads on the screen, full-blown Marty. And you help keep Wrestling Legends working. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it right on the screen right now. Is Lou Lurks. Raven said, I'm teaching Lou. Robert, I think before it's all said and done, we may see Ted with us sooner than later. Here. The Almighty One says, I wish I was Lou.
Oh my God.
Now that's a bit much.
Oh my God.
That's love.
I'm
No
flattered.
one has ever said that about me.
I'm so flattered. Oh my God. Wow. Thank you. I'm honored, Almighty One.
Yeah, Lazy Bum was not impressed that you asked if Andre was dead, but I think he kind of insinuated it as fact, not a question. Now, before today, did you know who Randy Savage was?
Nope.
He was kind of a household name.
Okay.
He did a lot of
I've actually have
Slim
heard that
Jim
name.
commercials.
Okay, I've heard that name. That's Hulk.
That's the Hulk stuff.
Didn't he have his own reality show?
He did, yeah, him and his family. It was
Yeah.
scripted reality, but it was a reality show nonetheless.
Counts. It counts. How's he doing now? What's he doing?
He doesn't have the place in the community that you'd like him to have because of the scandal that he ran into. A leaked sex tape with some questionable language on it, so to speak. He was eliminated from the WWE Hall of Fame from several years as a result of it. But he's back, but he's used sparingly at best. But at his age, there isn't a heck of a lot you can do with him. It's not like he's going to come back and wrestle. Unfortunately, he never had a retirement match. Lou is a good addition to the team, but needs to hit the books and watch some tape. Tell him, MDM.
I ain't watching any fucking tape.
Whoa! He used the F word. This is a high-quality production, sir.
Sorry, the fans here are super classy,
Please.
okay? They can't hear.
Please.
I apologize to the fans. I know y'all are very classy, okay? I'm not going to swear again, okay? I'm sorry. Classy.
Now, you know, with Andre, until the day he died, he never stopped growing.
Really?
Once he stopped growing height-wise, everything else started growing on him. His hands, his head, his legs, and he just grew to death, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah. Who's this guy?
That's Jesse the Body Ventura and $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase is trying to buy Jesse Ventura, probably like he dealt with in politics later on. Probably wasn't the first nor the last time this ever happened, because Jesse is the guest referee for the main event.
Oh.
Wow, they got a lot of hundreds there. You think we're going to see that Saturday night, November the 13th at
Tons.
Memorial Hall at Back to
Tons.
the 80s WrestleFest? I know MDM is ready. I know Beardsley B. Bad's ready to throw a couple of lefts.
MSG.
Maybe even Fan. Wait a minute. Almighty One, I don't want to say what I think I might be misreading this. I think the Almighty One's, I might be reading it wrong, but I think he says he wants to be your sex slave.
Really?
If I read it wrong, I apologize, but that's how it came
He's
across.
already off. Wow, I'm flattered. Thanks, but no thanks, Almighty One.
Well, we have a hell of a main event coming up, folks. If you've enjoyed the party tonight, we are going to be back 1 week from now, LIVE live for SummerSlam 89. The Super Chat is open. Hit that magic button, folk. Don't forget to tip the bartender as I drink my John Cena Sr. Fabo Pop. That is interesting referee attire. Have you ever seen a referee in any sport wear a leather jacket like that with tassels?
No. I like it, though. I think it looks pretty cool.
Well, his career was cut short due to blood clots, but he went on to great fame in movies. He was in some of Arnold Schwarzenegger's 80s hits.
Really?
As well as The Governor.
Ah. Is he still alive?
Oh, yeah.
That's good. See, that's a success story.
I'll tell you an interesting story off the air.
Okay.
Tell you, that Fabo Pop was great. Ryan A., John Cena Sr. couldn't be doing any better. He's involved with that USA reality show. I think it's called Temptation Island, where they have 4 guys live with 12 women and then their girlfriends live with 12 guys. And him and Majo were on the island. So I think the sheets were soaking wet. We're going to have to ask him when he's here in studio on Wednesday as Lou meets John Cena Sr. for the first time. He wants to find out how drenched Majo Ouellette was on Temptation Island. Beautiful shot of Andre's ass. Annie maybe got worked up over that. I wonder if she ever had the Giant's ass. Be almost like trying to a bear going into a cave almost. There he is. Isn't it something, though, fans? You can see the tease for WrestleMania 5 right here. Especially during the end of the match. But listen to the song that's being played. Not Real American. And Elizabeth is not in the promised itsy bitsy, teeny weeny, polka dot bikini. The 7-year-old version of Dan Marati wanted to see the itsy bitsy, teeny weeny, polka dot bikini. Now, couldn't you imagine, Lou, because you never get to live it, was at the old Boston Garden when Hogan would wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
If you were on the lower level, the balcony would literally start to shake and rumble at the reaction that he would get.
Really?
It was just he's in the history of the genre, the 3rd biggest star, if you go by certain metrics.
He was a force of nature.
Behind Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. Even though to me, I would call Hogan number 2, my opinion. But the reaction that he would get was unbelievable. Especially as a little kid, to think the building was literally going to fall apart when he came out.
Really?
And unfortunately, you'll get to see a Hogan reaction next week during SummerSlam 89. But because Randy Savage is the world champion here, they used his theme song as opposed to Hulk Hogan's.
Ah.
But look at this. Look at the personalities in this ring, folks.
Holy shit.
If Miss Elizabeth was alive, what could she get to do a autograph signing? Or Randy or Andre? Imagine what Andre would get. Bobby Heenan, DiBiase, Jesse. And then you got Virgil. Who doesn't belong in this picture? And then you got Virgil. I don't know. Gregor John, I love Lou's insight. All right.
Thank you.
Phil, you lived it, brother. I respect your opinion. They literally were hanging from the rafters. Annie would disappear up Andre's ass. Well, maybe I haven't seen. Well, I'm not going to go there. But was anybody else disappointed in Elizabeth's bikini? Because they promoted it so hard on WWF television. Jesse making sure the tag ropes are in place for this main event. At the very first SummerSlam, did you ever think 33 years later you'd be on something called the internet talking to some strange man that you don't know, along with his sidekick Lou, watching SummerSlam 88 on a computer, which certainly did not have video features back in 1988 on the little Apple computers that we had in school. But Jesse Ventura, doing his job. He wanted to call it down the middle, even though he took the cash. Is Bobby Heenan, the greatest manager in the history of professional wrestling, without a doubt. And that comes from someone that loves Paul Bearer like a second father. Look at Andre, not even going over the top rope. Wow. It's kind of an awkward movement from Andre. I believe this was Hogan's first match back from making no holds barred.
Huh.
I don't think he actually wrestled. I know he did some TV tapings promoting this event. But look at, I'm surprised they opened with Andre. Well, quick tag for Andre. For the wrestling aficionados out there, you may be familiar with the fact that usually after WrestleMania each spring, business declines. WrestleMania is the climax each year. And then it's almost like opening day again. But in 1988, when Macho Man won the WWF World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 4, defeating that very man, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, in the tournament finals, business actually went up after WrestleMania, which was very, very rare back then. Very, very rare back then.
Interesting.
Now we got a lot of factoids here, Lou. But I want the answer about the bikini, and I don't have it.
You ever see that movie about the wrestler? I think it's literally called The Wrestler. You ever see that movie?
Yeah, with Mickey Rourke.
I think that's his name. Yeah. You think it was good? Good movie.
Excellent.
Really? And accurate too.
On a scale of 1 to 10, right up there.
Really?
Maybe a 9.
Really?
Yeah, excellent movie. I remember I went opening night with Linda Marotti, and Linda fell asleep. She was really thrilled to see the wrestler in one of the smallest theaters in Revere.
Yeah, the one that closed down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, one of the smallest theaters in the complex. It was one of those 20-seaters. Linda had no interest in the wrestler.
20-seater?
Well, maybe 30. But once they put in those recliner-like seats, the leather ones,
yeah.
I mean, that cut back on the capacity quite a bit. But I love that theater. I don't think we have too many fans in this area that are watching right now.
Oh, they're not from this area?
They're from all over the place.
Oh.
Is there anybody in Massachusetts other than Phil? Rick B is from Maine. The almighty one again. That's Lou, the most knowledgeable wrestling fan. Wow. Linda is scared of heights. Yes, she doesn't like to fly. I told that story after our aborted trip to Florida back in June that cost a couple. It was almost like dealing with Glantz, another one. Oh, Lou, for Christ's sake.
I'm sorry.
I don't know which one did me worse, Linda Marotti or Glantz. Glantz stole the light kit, ruined Wrestle House, potentially has ruined Vegas. Linda ruined my Florida vacation. I was here 71 consecutive days thinking we were going to have a couple in Florida before she went insane and ran off the plane like the Ultimate Warrior when he won the Intercontinental title tonight at SummerSlam because there was a thunderstorm. Look at Andre looking very limber at this point for a giant. Jesse Ventura acting like he's not seeing it. Jesse's ordering Elizabeth off the apron. Now, who do you like better, Elizabeth or the woman from Reuben? If you had to pick one.
No comment.
No comment.
No
You
comment.
think she's watching?
No comment. No comment.
Earlier this year, Andre loved doing that ass bump. On NBC, Friday night, February the 5th, Hogan and Andre on NBC did 33 million people earlier that year.
Really?
33 million people.
Wow.
And nowadays, they struggle to get 2 to watch one of their TV shows. That's how hot this industry was.
It's on the decline now. Big time.
Since about the past 20 years. And the funny thing is,
What a shame.
the day after,
Mm-hmm.
in the afternoon, they did a tag. It was almost this match. It was DiBiase and Andre against Hogan and a guy named Bam Bam Bigelow. They sold out Boston in the afternoon for a matinee, and they sold out Philadelphia that night.
Really?
They flew right to Philadelphia from Boston.
So they need some more stars.
That's just the beginning of it, but you are certainly not wrong.
Need some more talent.
I wish Andre would have sat upon Elizabeth and voided his bowels live on pay-per-view. Well, I don't know if there were many that had those same thoughts, but Bad News Brown certainly learned. Do you remember Bad News Brown
No.
from earlier in the show?
Oh, okay. Nope. No.
He wrestled Ken Patera. He was the judo against the Olympic weightlifter, the black bald man.
Oh, yeah. That's Bad News Brown.
Towards the end of his career, in what they call a 3 versus 3, a 6-man tag team match, Andre was on one team and Bad News was on the other. And Andre was failing badly.
Uh-huh.
And he went and he did that ass spot,
Yeah.
but he couldn't get off of Bad News.
Oh.
And he moved his bowels on Bad News.
Oh.
So Bad News got some bad news.
Oh.
When literally Andre not only shit on him, but was stuck.
Oh, my
He couldn't get off of him.
Andre shit on him?
He shit on him in Mexico.
Oh.
Can you?
That's disgusting.
He didn't do it on purpose.
This wrestling, man.
I tell you, I don't know if
telling you.
Lou's going to be back for next week. Lou had respect for Andre after he sat upon him. Well, I don't know if respect is the word, but Dan, where do you find these characters? Gregor, you think Lou is a character? I think Lou is worth $1,001,000. He's great. I wish I had 10 Lou's compared to some of the other ones. Tell Lou no cap.
No cap.
Yeah.
What do you say?
No, tell Lou no cap. What's that mean?
Like they're not like he means like no cap like I'm
Is
not
it an Asian
emphasizing.
thing?
No.
Oh.
It's like oh, I think like and I'll use it in a sentence. Like I think wrestling is barbaric, no cap. Like I'm not emphasizing. Like I'm legit. Like I actually mean it. No cap. You know what I'm saying?
Not really.
Like I think this show is great. No cap.
But you don't think the show was great.
No. That means I do think the show is great, and the no cap at the end means like I genuinely think it's great. Like I'm not being sarcastic.
So why
No
did he?
cap.
How did he use it in the sentence again? Let me see. Now you're getting me. I'm trying to learn the lingo. I can use it with Baby Marati and think I'm cool. Where the hell was it? Tell Lou no cap. But what does that mean towards you? Tell Lou no cap.
I think
Does that mean he's a fan of yours?
Did he say something before?
No, it just says tell Lou no cap.
He's just like I think he's just telling me the lingo. I mean, like because he knows I'm a young guy, might know the lingo, you know. So
He said, "What's your name? Reno Chastain,
who said that?
MDM."
What? What's your name, Reno? What does that even mean?
Is that your name? I don't know you all that well.
I don't know.
Your name might be Reno
It
Chastain.
might be Reno Chastain.
Well, I guess we'll have to find out. What about when Andre called Bad News the N-word and Bad News stepped up to Andre? Yep. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the show, Nerd Alert. I hope you'll join us next week. And for all of our great programming 7 days a week, including at the top of the hour for Wrestling Insiders, Stern but Fair, podcast style. But we love doing these watch-alongs. We love interacting with you guys. Don't forget the Super Chat button is open. It has been awfully quiet, silent, mouse-like silence since it erupted earlier tonight, orgasmic style. Help make it happen, baby. We'll do these all the time if you want us to. It's time consuming and it takes a lot of work. But they are fun. And we wanted to prepare for the doubleheader weekend for SummerSlam and NXT in 2 weeks. And where Lou is new to the family, we got to break him in. We may have to say, if Annie was still at the Hilton, we might have had to send him over. Oh, Phil, I'm not even going to begin to try and teach him Connie. No cap means you're not lying. I'm not lying, don't lie, etc., etc. All right, well. Andre in Mexico was depressing. Ferdinand said, teach him, Lou.
That's what I'm trying to do.
No cap, baby.
No cap.
Andre was in rough shape. No cap.
Yep, that's correct. There you go. That's correct. That's correct.
Poor guy. He loved this business so much. And, he could have had a surgery to correct his problem and stop growing and lived longer, but he didn't want to have it.
What was his problem?
He had Giant's disease.
Oh.
He just, after he grew as tall as he could grow, it's just other parts of him. He had hands the size of a baseball mitt.
Oh my, he's sitting.
Oh, Andy would be in heaven right now.
Oh, dude. Oh my God. These guys take punishment, man.
Hogan saying, thank God that's not me. I'm glad Randy's taking one for the team, literally.
How much is Andre the Giant making from this?
Andre was one of the few that was paid on a guaranteed percentage basis no matter what. I think and it didn't have to do with pay-per-view revenue, but he would get, I think, 5%. Because he was such a great attraction. So if the house was $200,000, Andre would get 10.
Interesting.
He was a well paid athlete. Let me put it to you like that.
Pretty nice. Good for him.
Yeah, but to pass away so young,
yeah,
it was sad. In the end, he kept trying to wrestle in Mexico and Japan, and it was awful. It was an embarrassment.
Ugh.
And that was 5 years after this.
It's terrible.
JTG needs to educate Lou. Stretch him until he passes out. Lou and JTG are very good friends.
Great friends.
Dano, if I chip in again, would you throw some dough to Lou for him to put together a trial trivia show?
Ooh.
I'm not one to take advantage of people. What kind of trivia are you talking? Wrestling? I mean, this is someone that barely recognized Hogan, Andre, and Jesse Ventura. But I leave it at your discretion. Phil would like to see it, apparently. Not to be confused with a little fellatio, but that's
Yo, type in my Instagram again. And my Facebook.
What's your? Let's do it. What is Instagram?
Instagram. AdamLou22. LEW.
And Facebook?
Just Adam Lou.
One word?
No, two words.
Do you know mass transit?
What's that?
No.
Oh.
He doesn't.
Lou
That was like me with no cap.
knows the mass transit.
Oh, wait a minute. Andre's got him from behind. Massive headbutt. Jesse
Who's this
Ventura.
Raven Clark person?
Raven is a new friend of the show. We're glad she's here.
It's a she?
I don't know if it's a she.
Definitely not. It's definitely one of those catfish that you were telling me about. Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out, Joey,
We're calling
weekly
Raven
winners
catfish.
could get a gift certificate or something. Do you mean you want to do a trivia contest for the fans on here or for Lou? I'm not sure which one you mean.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, here is one of the most disappointing spots in WWF main event history. Now, Hogan and Andre are hurt. Everybody's up on the apron. Andre and DiBiase. Now, watch what's going to happen here, Lou. Lex Luger. I like that, Yolson. That was a good one.
You could fill in the content.
Now look at this. We got the itsy bitsy teeny weeny polka dot bikini.
Why do you need to wear a bikini?
Because they teased it on television that she was the secret weapon to defeat DiBiase and Andre. Her wearing this bathing suit. Now, I mean, she's literally showing her legs. But yet Andre and DiBiase are mesmerized. And Hogan and Savage are recovering outside behind them. I mean, DiBiase. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to get a little kinky with it. Virgil and Bob. Look at Bobby taking the bump. I love that. Scooping a slam on DiBiase. This could be it. He's headed to the top. This is what Lou's going to do to the woman in Reuben. Boom.
Oh.
And then the big leg drop from the Hulkster. Could this be it? Jesse Ventura reluctant. He took the cash. Oh, come on. Jesse 3. That's it. Unbelievable, fans. The Mega Powers exploded at Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena in New York, New York. And I had a lot of fun watching it, even if most of the matches sucked, because we got to talk with you guys. Don't forget the Super Chat is open as we wind down tonight's live stream. Oh, now see, this is the tease for WrestleMania 5. Hulkster's hugging Macho Man's wife, even though they're celebrating. Now, if you saw the great promo package they put together for these two to fight in the spring of '89, tremendous, some of their better work.
Really?
Oh, Hulkster's getting excited with the skirt. I don't, what? Some fan, I wonder if that ever went up on eBay.
Oh, definitely did. Damn, she's gorgeous, huh?
You really like Miss Elizabeth?
Pretty cute.
Well, maybe we could do the trivia show. Maybe with the wheel. You know what, Joey? Send me an email. Because sometimes things I think of during the show I forget. And sometimes I think during email I forget on the show. Dan luck. But things are going to be a little bit back to normal after the past 2 weeks of insanity that we've had here at the studio with all the construction going on. The production should be on a better schedule. We have more New Jack footage, Demolition Axe, more JTG. We have more footage from Wrestle House in Tampa. We're still trying to figure things out for Vegas. Tampa for Wrestle House 2 later in 2021. Come on, Lou. Let me see it, brother.
What?
Cup the air, bro, like the Hulkster. Show off the pythons. Those double-jointed pythons that Phil noticed out in Worcester. Well, Almighty One, SummerSlam wasn't the end of JYD and Patera, but it was their last pay-per-view, as you could say. Oh, wait a minute. Did Patera work Survivor Series? I think Patera was still around for Survivor Series in that lousy match they had after intermission. Lou is so buff. What about Saba Simba? Well, you know what? I was willing to give Tony a call, but you guys didn't want me to. Danny, you're right, brother. Hey, Joey again, brother.
My goodness.
Remember to advertise for next Sunday, and think about weekly trivia. There's got to be a way we could do a weekly trivia show, even if it's not on Sunday night. You're giving me something to ponder tonight, and I don't sleep well as usual as it is. Well, what do you think of your first endeavor?
Trivia?
Well, oh, wait, look. He touched the ass, as was highlighted in the video the next spring. He accidentally cupped Elizabeth's left ass cheek. What do you think of that?
I don't think much of it at all.
You never did that, Woburn.
No.
Only the right one. No, that's fine. All right, wrestling fans, we're going to wind down here. Is anyone else going to follow in the lead of Slick Rick B, of our good friend Lawson? I asked him where he lived, and he said he's 43 years old. And the MVP of the night, Christ Savior himself, God loves him, our buddy Joey, Who's going to super chat us up before the end of SummerSlam 88? Because we're coming back LIVE live next Sunday night for SummerSlam 89 from the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake against Macho Man Randy Savage and Zeus, playing off of No Holds Barred. Elizabeth and Sherry Martel get involved. It is a happening. On the Jackal's birthday, we're going to have Lou. Are we going to have you? All right, wrestling fans, hit cancel. SummerSlam 89 is coming up next. Well, we'll turn off the microphones. Lou, why don't you go up top and hit the, I'm sure you can figure out how to hit the end live stream button.
Yeah, I got you.
And I'll continue to chat with our great friends. Larson is from Houston. Oh, that's right. Larson is from Houston. I forgot about that. Well, they're getting an early tease. Like I said, Meadowlands Arena. Feel the heat, baby. He's going to be feeling the heat in Woburn. All right, folks. I had a lot of fun tonight. I hope you did. The only thing is we got to get Maury involved. Even if you're just watching, we got to get Maury involved. And again, don't forget, 10 p.m. tonight, Wrestling Insiders, Stern but Fair. Myself and Tiger Mulligan discuss all of the NXT releases, how WWE NXT may be rebranded completely. We talk about the release of Nature Boy Ric Flair, the deaths of the assassin Jody Hamilton, and beautiful Bobby Eaton, and more. Tiger and I always have a great time talking like two old pals. I only wish it was in studio. I'm waiting for the signal. At least Lou isn't wearing socks. Well, are you ready to hit the button, Lou?